even practice that. Welcome to Penguin Live, where we bring you the biggest and best names in magic every freaking week. My name is David McCrary. I'll be your host tonight, and what a night it's going to be. We have quite literally a walking encyclopedia of coin magic. Quite literally, Mrpl Rubinstein is the guy behind the Encyclopedia of Coin Sleight DVD series. You can't get much more walking encyclopedia than that. On top of that, he's the driving force. This is awesome. He's the driving force of the New York Coin Magic Seminar. And that's already given us 17 DVDs of some of the greatest names in coin magic. He's won all kinds of awards. I was going to tell you the name of the awards, but what happened is as I was printing them off to tell you those names, I ran out of ink. Brand new cartridge. That's how many awards he's won. It's ridiculous. He's been published in almost any magic publication you can name, and he's here with us tonight. So whether you've been into coin magic for 4 days or 40 years, you're in the right place right now. So please help me welcome Dr. Mrpl Rubinstein.
Thank you. How y'all doing? Hey. How you doing? It's great to be here in Columbus, I'll tell you. I love the days of Columbus. What's really spectacular are the nights of Columbus. Now, I mean, those guys are something else. But I did notice that it's, yeah, they get worse. I did notice that the nights are getting a little longer, the days are getting shorter. And in fact, I spent the whole night wondering where the sun went, and then it dawned on me. Time change. But no, seriously, here we are in Penguin Studios. Yet I've yet to see one penguin. I don't know. Although earlier I did see a penguin and a bear go into a bar, and the bartender says, "Are we serving animals now?" And the other bartender said, "Just penguin and bear it." So that's what we got. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to penguin and bear it. Now, actually, you may know that I don't go for the laugh. I go for the groan. The bigger the groan, the better, which is why I for grown-ups. But you guys are all homegrown, so you guys will do great. So we're going to have a lot of fun here. We're going to do coin magic, so the card guys can, take a hike. No, you can stay. It's okay. As long as you have some coins, we're good. But I've been doing coin magic for a long, long time. I mean, I remember when I was a little kid, after school, I'd go to the park behind the school, and there'd be this well. And we'd go to this well, and we'd make wishes. So I'd go and I'd wish for, I don't know, a portable radio. I'd wish for a brand new bicycle. And I'd wish for a date with Karen during Greekia. But as I got older, there were other things that I wanted. So I'd wish for an iPod. I'd wish for a brand new Maserati. And I'd wish for a date with Karen during Greekia. But it costs a lot of money to buy those things or to take a beautiful woman out to dinner, and money I did not have. And I went back to that wishing well to make a wish, but they tore it down. It's no longer there. But if we use our imagination tonight, we can make believe that my hand is that wishing well. If I close my hand into a fist and I make a wish out of that wishing well, I get a solid silver coin. If I make my other hand into a well and I make a wish, out of that wishing well I can get a solid silver coin. And if I make my hand into a well and I make a wish, out of that wishing well I can get a solid silver coin. If I make my hand into a well, once again make a wish, out of that wishing well I can get a solid silver coin. Now, that's not enough for an iPod. Certainly not going to be good for a down payment on a car. But who says wishes don't come true? After this lecture, I'm going back to New York to see my wife, Karen, during Greekia. Thank you. Thank you. So, a few things about me. Number one, I guess you understood from the monologue, I do shtick. That's right. My wife stays with me through shtick and thin, so we're lucky about that. The second thing is that when I do magic tricks, I don't talk about things that don't relate to me. I don't talk about like King Arthur and the 40 Thieves or Alibaba and the Knights of the Round Table or the Marx Brothers meet Frankenstein. Although that would be a great movie. I'm telling you. Can you just see, no really, Groucho Marx looking at Frankenstein and saying, "Are those electrodes on your neck, or are you just happy to see me?" I mean, and that's my idea if anyone comes up with it. But anyway, no, I like to do stories that relate to me or that relate to my audience because I think it gives you an emotional connection. So you're going to see me talking about either personal things about myself or things that we both can identify with. And I think that's important with all your magic. It should really be part of you. And I like this trick because it's a nice 4-coin production and it has some interesting applications. And it's also not difficult to do. And that's another thing that I want to talk about. Another thing about me is that over the years I've done coin magic. And I've realized that when you're doing a lecture and you say those magic words and the coin goes into classic palm, the people scream, get out of their chairs, run for the doors, SWAT team comes down. It's a disaster. And I realized that most of the people who come to magic lectures, they do some coin magic, but they can't do a lot of the difficult things. And although they may want to see it, they're not going to do it. And I always feel, if you come to a lecture, I want you to come away with something that you can do. 1 or 2 tricks or a new move or something like that. I don't want you to be scared. So I've designed a lot of this lecture to not have super difficult knuckle-busting moves, although there are going to be some things that are challenging that will require practice. But I think it'll be within the scope of what pretty much everybody can do. And there'll be a couple of things for the hardcore coin guys out in video land that I think they'll be happy with too. This is one of those things that's not difficult to do, and it relies on a position of the coins called nowhere palm. Nowhere palm is a concealment that Jeff Latta came up with. And he came up with it back in the 70s, and it was a concealment that he used because back then everybody was doing David Roth's hanging coins, which used something called edge grip, where the coins were held over here. And he wanted to hold them in a different position, doing the same thing, so he can fool his friends. So he came up with a concealment known as nowhere palm. Nowhere palm is like edge grip, but you're holding it with the curled in third finger, like this. Now how do you get into there? Well, the way you do it is you take your thumb, you have them like in the finger palm position, take your thumb and you roll them over and you hold it with your finger. Now, it's not a difficult thing to do, but just like anything in coin magic, it requires a little bit of practice. I mean, if you're going to do a double lift in card magic, you got to practice it too. If you're going to do a false cut, you're going to practice it. So even with coins, you got to practice these concealments. So when I started to do these types of concealments, I would hold the coins in there all the time. I would drive, I would hold things, and your hand gets pretty empty. And you could, show your hand is very, very open. You can probably see that from here. My hand looks pretty open, and I can probably even extend it even more. And you can see it at that point. But right now, the palm looks pretty empty. And that's a pretty nice concealment to have. So you can talk and gesture, and your hand looks pretty good. So, you practice with 1 coin, 2 coins. It's actually easier with more than 1 coin, but, you keep the coin in nowhere palm. So now we can talk about the wishing well. And I point to my hand over here. Oh, this is going to be important in a second. These are old Barber half dollars. And if you'll notice, when I rub them against each other, they don't make noise. That's because they're worn or smooth coins, and that helps this trick. You don't need to use worn or smooth coins for this type of trick, but it helps to make the magic better. My feeling is if you can do something that will avoid detection, you should do it. Now, just to give you an example, I have here regular shiny half dollars. You hear that? That's what happens because the coins aren't worn. But when you use these smooth coins or worn coins, some people call them junk silver, they don't make any noise. So these coins are in nowhere palm. And you're talking about everything. You're pointing to your hand. You see you're going to turn your hand into a well. As I do that, I close my hand to a fist by turning it around, and it goes under these coins. And as it does that, I drop them onto my fingers right there. But I don't just drop them. I kind of let them sit there, and then I push with my second and third finger of my right hand onto the coins so that they won't move. Now, as I said, you could do this with regular, shiny coins, but you got to be careful not to make any noise. You close your hand to the fist by turning your hand around. Your fingers are on the coins now. So you make a wish, and out of there you pull out 1 coin, and you show that. Now you're going to do something called a fingertip shuttle pass. This is something I came up with after doing for many years Roth's shuttle pass, which is actually done from finger palm. And that's something that he popularized way back when he started to do his magic in the 70s, 80s. More like that. But this is a little different because we're going to do it at the fingertips. Now a shuttle pass is where you're going to put your finger on the coin and you're going to pretend to put it in your other hand, but you can actually produce another coin from it. So what I do is I put my finger on this coin, turn your hand over, and what you're doing, let me just show you, is you're turning your hand and you're putting your finger to the tip, just like this. So the coin stays in its position. This hand, the left hand, has all these coins, and as this hand comes over, this hand puts his finger on this coin and pushes it up to the top, just like this. Now you can't see the coin, but that's where it is. So I go like this, 1, then I turn this hand over, put the coin into my right hand, the other coin is still in finger palm, so the action is 1, 2, 3, and then I put this on the table. Now I've got 2 coins in my left hand and 1 coin finger palm in my right. I now straighten my fingers because I can make my hand into a fist, but I want my hand to look a little open. So I grab the coin and pull it back just for a second so my hand my fingers stay straight. And I think Mrpl1 came up with this holding position. So I go like this, open my fingers, and then I close it into a fist. I point, and now I reach in there. Again, these two coins are in finger palm. I pull this coin out. I turn my hand, grab the coin with my right hand, turn it over again, and put it down. So that's 2. Now I've got 2 coins in this hand, in my left hand. Do the same thing. I grab it with my thumb, so make the gesture of making the well. Bring my hand into there. I pull both of these out. Now this is interesting. I pull both. Now remember, they don't see anything here, right? I pull both coins out, and what I do is, as I'm coming out with both coins, I pull one coin back into my fingers, and I leave this one, the one on top, which was the one furthest in toward your fingers. I leave it on my fingertips, and then I turn my hand over, grab it, put it down. So what I've done is I've loaded my right hand with the coin over here. Do the same thing, the Mrpl holding position, close my hand, show this hand empty, reach in, and pull the coin out. And I've got a nice 4-coin production. Are there any questions? Thank you. Thank you. Now, what I like about production is it's also very versatile. Let's say you're doing a trick with 3 coins and you need an extra coin. So when you get to the point that you have 2 coins in this hand, you pull it out and you produce the 3rd coin. Now you've got an extra coin in your right hand. Let's say you need an extra copper coin. So this is actually kind of cool. So the copper coin will go, it'll be the bottom silver, then copper, then silver, and those go into nowhere palm. Same moves, and watch what happens. So you produce the first one, okay, shuttle pass, make the move, produce the second one, okay, make the move. Now the copper coin is facing out, so I grab both, pull the silver coin, put that on the table, and now I've got the 3 coins, but I've also got a copper coin, so I can do a wild coin trick or something like that, and you could actually use this for a trick that we're going to do later on in the lecture. So that is the wishing well. Thank you. Now, I've traveled all over the country teaching magic, but one of my favorite places is Tallahassee, Florida. Anyone ever been to Tallahassee? Anyone? You have. So you know about Tallahassee. It's known for fast food, fast women, and women who used to be fast until they ate the fast food, and now they're slow. But it's also known for the famous Tallahassee jumping coins. That's right. On a night that's not too hot, not too cold, much like tonight, outside of Tallahassee, in the fields outside of Tallahassee, you could actually see them jumping in the fields. And if you're good enough, you can catch some. And I got some of them here today. I got 1, 2, 3 of them. And as I said, they're jumping coins because they jump from one hand to the other, just like that. Now, you couldn't hear it go, but if you listened very carefully, you could hear it arrive. Which leaves one last coin to join these 2, but we're going to do this one a little differently. Can you come up for just 1 second? Sure. So, come right around here. So I'm going to hold 1 coin over here, but I'm going to give you these to hold. Just close your hand over the coins really tight. Let me take the last one and make it jump from my hand to your hand. Count them.
1, 2, and 3.
And that's the Tallahassee jumping coins. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I do a lot of coins across routines. For those of you who have ever seen the New York Coin Magic Seminar DVD set, we put out Volume 1 on Coins Across, which is a 2-disc set, along with it was myself, David Roth, Mike Gallo, Jeffrey Latta, and Kainoa Harbottle, and there are like 27 routines of Coins Across on that, with palms up, palms down, extra coins, no extra coins, gaff coins, all sorts of ways, and it's a great DVD set. This one isn't on there because this one is something that I held back for a while, but it's one of my favorites, and I really enjoy teaching it because it only uses 3 coins, and it's a little gutsy. It's got some moves that are a little interesting. So let's talk about them. The first thing that I do with this trick is I do a fake count. I call it a 2 or 3 count. The name of the count is called the pseudo-Himber count. And the reason I came up with this, and maybe you guys have seen Jay Sankey do the Himber count as a click pass. It actually was Harvey Rosenthal's idea, but Jay Sankey has popularized it. And he does it great, and it looks amazing. But if you notice, when you do that move, your hand position changes. It's very hard to keep the hand position of the same way you're counting, and what's happening is you're extending your finger and it's coming back into your hand. I don't do that trick very well because that move, because if you miss, it looks really bad. You've got to be perfect and spot on, and it's not an easy thing to do. So I came up with a way to count the coins, which I think looks very natural, and it's within the range of pretty much everybody. So you have 3 coins, and they're in my left hand in like a 3rd finger palm, okay? And I'm going to count the first one onto my hand by putting my thumb on it, and I come over and I just place it there. That's 1. The second one, I do the same thing, but I don't let go of the coin. I hit, and then I bring it back into my hand and count it again. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, close your hand, 3. This one never leaves its position. So it's a casual counting, 1, 2, 3 coins. And it looks like you're really counting 3 coins in your hand, but you're really only counting 2. The second one's counted twice. You don't have to rush it. 1, 2. The important thing is to come back in like you're pulling it over. 3. And if you do it at a nice speed, it looks pretty good. So that's 2 is 3 counts. So now the first coin goes across just like this. And there's the first coin. Now the second coin is really interesting. So I spread these coins out, and I close my hand, putting it into position of classic palm. But I don't classic palm the coin. Don't get scared. I don't want anyone getting scared here. And I say I'm going to make the second one go, but you may not see it go, but you could hear it arrive. And I make a tossing motion. Then as I come down, I open my hand for a second, and I just let that fall onto the other one, making that noise. So it's onto the fingertips. Put it in classic palm position. Keep your fist closed. Toss up. And then as you come down, it hits. Now, when I do that, what I'm going to do is with the other hand, so I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to pretend to catch it. So it looks like I got the coin. So the second coin goes, got it, right like there. Now, in most magic books, they tell you got to show them the coin. I say, why? They heard it go. You told them it was going. Why do you have to show them there are 2 coins here? You don't. There's no rule that says that you have to show them. So I don't. So I make the second coin go across. Okay. Boom, move is done. Now we can relax. Now we go on to the third coin. So I push the top coin up to my fingertips, and I see there's one last coin, which is now going to join these over here. During this motion, I now will add the second coin to the hand. It's done on the offbeat. Nobody's paying attention. So I show this coin, and this is called the tap load. I came up with this actually with a 3-fly routine, and we'll teach that a little later on in the lecture. I turn my hand over, and as I turn my hand over and I go to tap this coin here, this hand gets covered. And you don't see it, but what happens is, boom, it just drops. Let's see if we can do that for the camera. Drops onto the other one, and then I tap it. So there's one last coin to join these 2 here. The move is done. It's done on the offbeat. Everything is where it's expected. 2 coins are in this hand, 1 coin is in this hand. And that's a pretty nice move because it's totally done on the offbeat, and nobody's suspecting that you're doing anything, but you've already done the move. Okay, now the next one is really nice because you're making the last coin go into the spectator's hand. There are a lot of different ways to do that. On that DVD I told you about, New York Coin Magic Seminar Volume 1, there are, I think, 5 different ways that teaches you how to get a coin into a spectator's hand. This is an interesting way, and it's kind of based on a Ross Bertram idea. So what I do is the coins now are in the left hand, 2 coins. As I close my hand into a fist, I pull them over so they're just kind of held in a clipped position between the pinky and the third finger. They're not really held in a palm. I just kind of move them over there so I can close my hand into a fist. And that'll be important in a minute. Now I say, I have one here, and I'm going to turn to the person over here on my left to give him the other coins. I'm going to say, I'm going to give you these 2. So usually I'm doing this standing around with a bunch of people, and there's usually somebody there. So I hold this coin here, and I close my thumb on the hand. My thumb goes on the coin, and I hold it here. Now, as I turn my body to give him these coins, I take this coin and I toss it right into that hole in my left hand, just like this. And then I hand this to him. Of course, I don't do it that slow. I just say, okay, I'm going to hold this one, and I'm going to give you these to hold. And the move is done. Now, this is why I have to move those coins into the clip position. Look where the coins are. Okay, can you see that? These are the clip coins that's there. If I didn't clip them, if I did that move, you'd hear a click, and then it wouldn't be very magical. So after I show these 2 coins here, I turn that over. I say, 1 coin here, I'm going to give you these to hold. And I put them all in his hand, close his hand up, make believe I take the last coin, and toss it. And the last coin goes across. Are there any questions on this? Great. You guys are great. Thank you. You know, David Roth has a great line that he uses, and I'm going to steal it from him because I only steal from the best. He says that you can watch a DVD over and over again, but you can't ask a DVD questions. This is an opportunity for you guys to ask me questions tonight. And as far as I'm concerned, being that I've spent many years sitting in the audience watching other guys perform and lecture, there's never a question that's too silly to ask. The odds are that if you're asking that question, somebody else wants to ask that same question. And I don't think any question is silly or stupid, so Any question, I'm very happy to answer for you, and don't feel embarrassed. And I'm sure that the people out who are watching on the video feed, I'm sure that they probably are asking the same questions too. So feel free to ask. They're relying on you guys to ask those questions. All right. Things are going well. So let me ask you guys a question. You want to see a mystery? Yes. A real mystery. Okay, this is for you. I'm going to show you a mystery with a purse and a glass. That's right. The purse contains coins in it, while the glass is empty. Now let me show you what I have in the purse. I've got 6 coins, but you may not be able to see them very well. So let me show them to you. I've got 3 copper coins and 3 silver coins. Put them right on the table, right like this. So that's copper, silver, okay, copper, silver, a purse and a glass. Now the reason I use this glass is so that you won't miss anything amazing that happens during the course of this routine. Because I will tell you right now, every single time that I drop coins into that glass, something amazing is going to happen. I know this because I've done the trick before. But hey, don't take my word for it. It's going to look something like this. Take some coins, drop them in the glass, and something amazing is going to happen. But it only works for the coins in the glass. It never works for the coins in the purse. Now I could take some coins. I can put them inside. You could hear them inside, but that's not amazing. But put coins in the glass, miracles happen. So once again, I have 3 silver coins, 3 copper coins, a purse, and a glass, and a little bit of magic, which looks something like this. 1 silver coin goes into the hand, and 2 go into the glass. That's the signal for something amazing to happen. And sure enough, that coin changes. It becomes a copper coin. This is actually the copper coin that's come out of the purse. The silver coin has gone into the purse. You see, the coins are actually changing places. I'll do that again for you. I'll take the second silver coin and place it into my hand. 1 goes into the glass. That's the signal for something amazing to happen. And sure enough, that next coin changes, and that becomes a copper coin. The copper coin that's come out of the purse, while the silver coin has gone into the purse, the coins are switching places. Let me do that one more time. 1 silver coin goes into the hand. 2 go into the glass. That's the signal for something amazing to happen. Sure enough, that last coin changes. It becomes a copper coin, which leaves me 3 copper coins in the glass. And in the purse, we have 3 silver coins. Thank you. So I love this trick because this is, number one, it's an homage to my friend David Roth, who came up with this really great routine many years ago, which he calls the purse in the glass. It's really a showpiece. He sits down and he's able to do the same effect, but it's beautifully constructed. It's a masterpiece of construction. It's also very difficult, and very few people do the trick. I've always wanted to do that trick, but you're limited sometimes when you're sitting down, so I wanted to do this trick standing up. And it took a while to figure out how to do that, and I finally came up with this routine, which I'm very pleased. The pattern is really David's. I mean, it's a little changed, but it's really David's routine. And I'm going to show you how it's done. So we're using a glass, a purse, 6 coins, 3 silver, and these are the old Barber half dollars, which are worn. And these are old Queen Victorian English pennies, which are also old and worn, so they make no noise. And they're all stacked up in the purse, just like this. So you come out, you talk about the mystery, you open this up, take the coins out, place the coins on the table so that everyone could see it. And of course, you know, if you have a group of people, you lift them up. You're not just working on the table. So you show copper, silver. You're showing both sides, copper, silver, the purse, and the glass. You talk about how the glass is where all the magic happens. Okay? So you place the coins in the glass to say that's what happens there, but nothing happens with the coins in the purse. So now I take the purse and I open it up. And oh, by the way, I probably should tell you this now, because this is actually very crucial for the routine. This isn't an ordinary purse. It looks like an ordinary purse. I carry my coins around it all the time. I use them all the time. But this is actually something that I developed called a rattle purse. That is, it's a purse that, although it looks totally normal, it has coins sewn into the lining. So anytime I want, I get a rattle. That allows me to do this trick because noise helps to sell the illusion of this effect. You don't need a rattle purse, but it's better to have that because the noise is what really makes the trick. You could also use a rattle gimmick under your sleeve if you have one, but I find this works really well. And even if you don't have one, you can still do the routine, but I think the noise really sells the illusion. Now, the next move is really it's not really a great move, but the noise sells the move. I show the 3 coins in a fan, the 3 copper coins. I pretend to place them inside, but what I do is I just kind of roll them back into my fingers. It's not even a move. It's almost like there are the coins, and I do that. So I'm not even doing anything special. And I go like that, but then I close this. They're here sitting on my fingertips, and then I rattle the purse. So it really looks like the coins are, even if it's not like a great, fantastic move, the coins are going into the purse. In the meantime, these coins are sitting in finger palm. So now I've sold the trick. Now, my hand has coins in finger palm. You're going to notice from now on, I don't really leave my hand free. My hand is always trying to hold something. That makes my hand look very, very natural. So I say, once again, we have 3, picking up, I'm holding the glass now, 3 silver coins. Put this down, pick up the purse, shake it. 3 copper coins, right? The noise sells that. A purse and a glass and a little bit of magic. Now we're going to do a move which you're going to see several times during this lecture. One of the things that I like to do is I like to build on things that we learn. So every time we learn a move, you're going to start to see these moves over and over again, which will help you to see how versatile they are. So this is a move that I call the slide move. So I take the first coin and I'm going to place it into my hand, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it behind the copper coins. Now this would be, if you were to intuitively think, how would I get that coin behind the copper coins? This is what you would do. You would take the coin and you would just slide it behind there. And that's all I'm doing. I'm sliding the coin behind the other coins. It's not even a move. I used to do this as a fidget with coins. I'd hold coins and I just kind of fidget them around just to keep my hands busy. And then I realized, oh look, you can do something with this. So I take the coin and I put it behind the other ones, just like that. Close my hand, these go into the glass. Of course, this is really just to add embellishment to the trick, to make it look more magical. You don't even need the glass, you could do it with just the purse, but the glass makes it more of a showpiece. Wave, and now I push the top coin out, and remember these are worn coins, so they don't make any noise, there's no friction. So I push it out, and I usually push downward. So if I'm here, I push downward, because I don't want the coins to, it comes out easier, I don't want the coins to lose their position. So the silver coin goes there, wave, push that coin out, and now I turn my hand around. So there's the coin just like this, okay? And now I pick, again, I'm holding the coin so that my hand doesn't look too unnatural. The coins are in finger palm, and I show the other 2. So I put this on the table, and I immediately grab a second silver coin, place that, sliding it behind the other ones. This one goes back into the glass, little wave, and I push the second copper coin out. Okay, and I show the copper coin there, and the silver coin here. You've got the Ramsey subtlety to show your hand empty. Any questions so far? Because so far it's pretty standard, right? Okay. Okay, I put this down. I take the last coin, put that into my hand, slide it behind the other ones. Okay, it's just sliding it behind. These 2, as my hand is closed, these 2 go into the glass. Wave my hand like this, push the last copper coin to my fingertips. So now I drop this into the glass. Again, I don't leave my hand too empty. So I pick this up, I toss it into my hand, showing 3 copper coins on the table. Now, as I pick the rattle purse up and shake it, I put these coins into nowhere palm. Now you could do it either as you're doing this, because you have misdirection, turn your hand over, doing it, or you could do it as you're going to take the purse, which is the big move of taking the purse, hiding the small move of the coins being transferred into nowhere palm. So this is the position of the coins. You see the nowhere palm coins being held. The purse is held with the thumb and the first finger almost horizontal. And then you open the purse, just like this. Now these are the coins, okay? And with a tossing motion, I'm just going to let go of these silver coins, so the coins come right out of my hand, and it looks like they're coming right out of the purse into the hand. From the front, I'll try and do it for the guys in the video. So you're holding your hand like this, and they come out from underneath, just like that. Then I put the purse down, and I show the 3 silver coins, and the effect is done. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions so far on anything that we've done? I know that some people may be asking questions from...
Michael, how careful do you have to be with the purse after you dump the coin?
Here's the purse. You really can't hear anything. Put it down. There's really nothing to worry about. And the purse is really just a utility item. It's something to hold your coins. So it's never suspected. Nobody ever goes, let me look at the purse. And I do a lot of tricks using the rattle purse because it helps me to enhance my magic and it eliminates a move. When you shake that purse and the coins are now in there, let's say you made 3 coins vanish and you shake the purse and now you hear the coins in the purse. Well, now the trick is done. It's like that other trick. You know, you've done the magic already, so now you can sit back and relax. So even though the move now is to empty the coins out, people are relaxed because they've heard the coins in the purse. So if I were to vanish 3 coins and shake the purse and then make them come out of the purse, that's magical. If I didn't shake the purse to show the noise, people are watching maybe a little more intently to see how you're going to get them back into the purse. But once you shake that, they're there already. And it's a little psychological thing. But that was a good question. Yeah, the purse doesn't really make that much noise. And again, you could also use a rattle gimmick under your sleeve, as many people do, to get noise when you need it. So that is also very helpful. Are there any questions again? Cool. Thank you. All right, let's do something else. I'll tell you what, I need somebody to come sit in the hot seat here for a minute. Who wants to volunteer? How about you? Want to come sit in the hot seat? How you doing? Mike, what's your name?
Brady.
Sorry?
Brady.
Brady, sit down, Brady. How you doing?
Good.
You know, I love close-up magic, but I also love stage magic. I've always wanted to do stage magic. I've wanted to use the big boxes of David Copperfield, the lions and tigers of Siegfried and Roy, the beautiful dancing girls. I like doing that. But, you know, but I only have 2 little cats. I use my boxes for sending out DVDs and stuff on eBay. And my wife never puts on the dancing girl outfit. Just not going to happen. But I thought that maybe tonight we can have some fun by doing a stage trick with close-up objects. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. So I've got everything I need in this little magic bag of tricks. In here, let's see what I got. Some strange and wondrous things. Okay. I've got here some coins. Got here a British halfpenny. And I've got an American quarter. The American quarter is going to represent the magician, and the British halfpenny is going to represent the assistant in this trick. Okay? But we have to assign them to identify them. So what I'd like you to do is maybe put some sort of design or sign an initial on the face of the British halfpenny there. Okay. That's very artistic. Have you ever signed money before? Because it looks like a signed Monet. Yeah. I know, that was my Van Gogh joke, but anyway, I'm not as artistic. Maybe I'll take that art of the routine, I don't know. I'm going to sign something. It's not very artistic, but I'm going to just make a circle on my side, okay? So we have this signed with my circle on one side and your little star there on the other side, okay? And we're going to do the same thing here. You put something on the face of some identifying mark. A little check. Check marks the spot. And I'm going to do, because I'm not very artistic, the same little circle that I did before. Okay? So this way we have 2 coins signed, one signed by you and one signed by me, but we need something else. We actually need something that I have in my magic bag of tricks. And I'm going to see if I can get it. Oh, let's see. It's in here somewhere. And here it is. It's my business card. This business card is going to be used as the curtain that they use in the big stage illusions, all right? So we're going to use that, but we need one more thing. We need one more thing. And I, again, have it here in my magic bag of tricks here. I have here, see, this is a big table. I need to use a little stage so that the coins can actually perform right in the center. So we've got the stage, the curtain, and the 2 coins, and they're going to help us for an illusion that I call the substitution trunk mystery. So to do that, we're going to take the assistant and put her right on top of the stage. Now watch very carefully. This is the substitution trunk mystery. On the count of 3, there's the magician. Want to come close to this? 1, 2, 3, and ta-da! There she is. Is that your signature? And is that my signature? Mm-hmm. Of course, the magician now is under the card. Can you turn the card over? And there's the magician. He's not there.
Nope.
Oh, you know why? I should have realized that some of these stages come with trap doors. Is there a trap door there? I don't know. It's hard to say. You know, sometimes it's inside. Oh, open that up. See what happens. Take that out. There's something else in there. It's another stage. It's a little smaller. Can you open that for me? Another stage. Can you open that? Keep going. Keep going. He's doing great. Another stage. Look at that. Another one. Keep going. Oh, is that the coin that you signed? And that's the coin that I signed? Thank you. The substitution trunk mystery. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for helping out. So I really like this trick. It's the nest of boxes. It's a classic in magic. And for those of you who know me know I'm pretty much a purist. I don't like using a lot of gimmicks and stuff. But this box set is a classic. And I've always wanted to do a nice routine with it. The way the classic trick works is you take a coin, it's signed, it's vanished, and it reappears inside this group of boxes. And you know, there's the old cardboard boxes. There are these like metal tray boxes. They all work pretty much the same way. But this is a nice set. And the trick was nice, but it became more of a puzzle. You know, he vanishes the coin, how does it get back in the box? I wanted to eliminate that puzzle, so I came up with this routine. And this routine, let's talk about the boxes first of all. So the boxes have a top and a bottom, and I look at each size so I can put it together. Okay. And these look like this goes like this, and this looks like it goes like this. So you got the top and the bottom of the box. But there are a couple of other things, and what made this trick really work for me was this little bag. Because this bag allows me to do everything right in front of the spectators. In the old days, you had to have something in your pocket. You had to kind of get the coin in the box, and it was maybe you fumbled a little bit. This allows you to do everything right out in the open. So I have a little box, and I have the holder that holds the nest of boxes. It's basically a standard holder. I just added a little paper to make it a little thicker. And the top of the box goes in here, just like that. Can you guys see that? The bottom of the box goes in here, and that's the holder. So in the old days, you had this sitting in your pocket, and you had to make sure it didn't fall out, and you had to make sure you can get the coin in there. And so this works a lot better because you're doing it, as I said, right in front of the people. This is a little tiny bag. This goes in the bag. And by the way, the bag is marked with some silver. You probably can't see that very well, but the silver helps me to see which part of the bag is up and which is down. And you stick that in here. And then on top of that, I put the business card. Now I'm using 3 coins, 2 quarters, and I'm not going to erase the marks, but 1 quarter is already prior marked with a circle. And I have that in the back, and then I have the quarter and the British halfpenny on top of that. But the circle is face out. I put them in this little tiny purse. They sell these out commercially. I think Craig Dixon sells them, but you can probably buy them in magic stores as well. And you don't even need something like this. You can have the coins in your pocket, but I think it's nice to have everything in one place. And that goes in there as well. Bag is closed, and if it stays face up, nothing will fall out. And you can just actually keep this in your pocket if you want. Right now with the lecture, with all the stuff we're doing, I had it on a little table here, but you can keep it in your pocket, and you can walk around. You can do it right in front of everybody. So that's how it's set up. So now I say everything I got is in my little bag of tricks, and I put this right out in front of everybody, okay? So I reach in first, I take out the bag, and I take out the 3 coins, and I just push the 2 to my fingertips, holding this one back in finger palm. And I put them on the table. Now I have him sign the heads, and I do that really just to be consistent, because I never want to forget which side I signed. I had signed the tail side on the original quarter, so I want him to sign the head side. So first he signs the British halfpenny. I turn it over, and I sign the little circle on that. I pick it up, I put it on my finger with his face, his design down, and then I put it over here with his design facing up. Okay, and they'll be important for a second. This is a Scotty York idea, by the way. I have him sign the second coin. He put a check on it. I now take it and I do a Bobo switch. I hold that coin there. I drop the finger palm coin right onto my fingertips, just like that. And then I put my thumb on it, and I put that over here. So now my design is face up. So there's no reason for them to suspect that it's anything else other than the coin that was signed. So I have their signature face up and my signature face up. Now I've got to load this coin into the box. So I'm going to just take everything out so you can see how this is done. After all, this is a magic lecture. Okay, so this is now inside the box. As I grab the box, I kind of lift that up, and I just stick this inside, and I make sure it goes inside. It looks like I'm finagling inside the box, but that's okay, because I'm trying to get something out. Then I grab the card, and I pull the card out. The coin just sits there. I don't close the box yet. And I say, now I've got the card to use for the big stage illusions. And now I say, but we need a stage. So I go back into the bag, close that. Now I come out, and I say, here's the stage. And I put that right in the center. This can go back in your pocket or put it away, whatever. Done. So you're pretty clean. You can toss it over to the side as well. Now, the next move I'm going to do is a very, very easy move. I'm going to pretend to cover the British penny with the card, but I'm going to steal the coin back. So this is what I'm going to do. First, I'll show you the move, just like that. And it looks like I covered it. But what I'm doing is I'm snapping I'm holding it with my thumb and my second finger. I'm snapping it down, and then as I'm covering it, under the cover, I'm just grabbing it back and holding it now with my second finger. So that's the move. It doesn't do anything. I'm just snapping against the box from the front. Okay? So now when I snap it down, this is here, you can't see it, I just take it back and put that over there. So the coin's right here. Now I do a regular spellbound move, and I hold the coin in spellbound position of my left hand, put my thumb on the back of the British halfpenny, and I bring my hand over the silver coin, and what I do is under the cover of the silver coin, see if I go like this, I just drop the silver coin without moving the fingers to the base of my fingers and grab the copper coin. So from the front, it looks like it magically changes. From the side, you can see what happens. Okay?
The thumb kind of pushes it down, right?
Exactly, because you're coming over, you're right there. When you know that you're touching the coin, so you know that they can't see it, and you just release it very slightly by pulling your thumb back, but really no movement, and just grab the other one, come down, and then slide back. And the coin now looks like it's changed. I now ask them to verify the signature and to verify the other signature, because it's important that I also point out that I signed it. And now he turns this over. He doesn't see the coin. And at this point, you can take the card and you can just, I actually left it on the table with the coin underneath. You can put it away. You can keep it palmed in your hand. That's up to you, because they're doing all the magic now. They're shaking it. They open it up. There's another box inside. They open it up. Another box inside. Open it up. Another box inside. This gets more and more puzzling. And for magicians who know the nest of boxes, it's cute. But for laymen, this is very, very powerful. How the heck did the coin get in there? They know the coin's going to be in there. They have no idea what's going on. When they get to this point, they see the signatures of both coins, and the magic is done. And it's a very entertaining yet not difficult illusion. Are there any questions on this trick at all? Any questions? Good. You guys are being great. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to try something different right now. I'm going to do something very, very different. Something that most people don't expect me to do. I know it's a coin lecture, but you know what the hell? You got to throw something in the mix, right? Would you like to come sit in the hot seat there for a sec? Very popular here. How you doing? What's your name?
Anthony.
Anthony, you're going to help me with this trick, okay?
All right.
Now, I'm not really a card magician, but we're going to try this. Okay. So I got a deck of bicycle cards, all different. But this is kind of strange. You're going to actually, when I riffle the cards, you're going to say stop.
Stop.
Take this card, show it to everybody, but don't show it to me. I won't look at the monitors, I promise. Everyone see it? Show it to the camera so that they see it. Otherwise, the people won't understand what's going on. Place it back in the deck. Okay. Somewhere in the center, I'll tell you what, I want you to cut and shuffle just to make sure that it's buried. You've done this before, right?
Once or twice.
Okay. Now, at this point, most magicians would do fancy cuts and shuffles, some good lines. They'd find your card in a very entertaining way. Not me. See, I don't do that kind of magic. I learned my magic on the island of Haiti. And they don't just do card tricks. They find magic. They find cards using voodoo. That's right. That's how I do it. And I have here something that was given to me by the high voodoo priestess. And after a couple of tugs, she certainly was. In here, I have the chalice of the high voodoo priestess. And inside some old magical coins. Let's take a look. Old magical copper ceremonial coins. There's one, there's two, there's three, and there's 4 old copper coins. These coins have been used for countless sacrifices, weddings, bar mitzvahs, all sorts of rites. And even a few lefts. Now we need one of these coins to identify with you. So I have here some stickers that represent different forces of nature. Let's see, we have blue for water, yellow for the power of the mighty sun, green for nature, or the meat that's in my refrigerator for a little while. And last but not least, we have red for, I don't know, red. So what I'd like you to do is to choose one of these sticker colors to identify with you. The color that you choose is the color that we're going to use.
Blue.
Blue. That's exactly the color that I would have chosen had I not chosen one of the other 3. So, good choice. I'm going to take that off, going to place that on one of the coins, right in the center, just like this. Now this makes this coin more powerful than all of the other coins, but to fully harness its magic, we need to isolate it under the chalice of the High Voodoo Priestess. Now that's pretty magical there, but these coins also have to help us to find your card. So we're going to take the first coin and we're just going to wave it over the chalice. And if I do that, something very strange happens. You see the image of the sticker that you chose, the blue sticker, imparts itself to the coin just by waving it over the chalice, just like that. I'm going to do that again with the second coin. I'm going to make it magical by waving it over the chalice, and when we do that, the magical blue sticker imparts itself to the coin just by waving it over the chalice. That's twice. Do that one more time. Take the coin, wave it over the chalice, and sure enough, just like before, the magical blue sticker has imparted itself to the coin just by waving it over the chalice. Well, that's pretty interesting, but we still haven't found your card. That's because it's time to do the voodoo that you do. And what I'd like you to do is take the deck, wave it over the cards, and ask for a sign.
A sign.
Which sign did you like? Stop, exit, deer crossing? Have you ever wondered how the deer always cross right at that sign? I don't know. I actually once performed for deer. I performed at a stag party for $10. Think about it. No, but I think you're. You know, I'm usually hilarious before 5 o'clock. But anyway, I think that our prayers have been answered, because if we take a look into the chalice, something mysterious and magical has happened. When I take a look at the first coin, it now has a word on it. The sticker has vanished, but it says something. What does that say?
You.
You. The second coin, the sticker has vanished, but it now says something as well.
Chose.
Chose. You chose. The third coin, the sticker has vanished, but there's another word there.
The.
You chose the. There's one coin left under the chalice, the leader coin. For the first time, tell me the name of your card.
8 of hearts.
The 8 of hearts. Thank you. But it even gets better, because if you'll remember, every time I waved something over the chalice, the sticker imparted itself to it. You wave the cards over the chalice. Wouldn't it be amazing and possibly a miracle that if we take a look through the cards, there's one card with a sticker on it. The color that you chose, can you show that to everybody? It is the 8 of hearts. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, this is called Voodoo Revelation. Now, I've been doing this trick in some form or another since the early 80s. In fact, if you guys ever saw the Knockout Coin Magic DVD set, which were videos that were originally made with Videonics, I did this trick with pure sleight of hand. And it was a good trick, but it was very difficult. And it was also a little long and tedious. I then met a guy named Art Kahn who ran a company known as Xanadu, and he said, can you make this like a little, easier to do so that it could be sellable? And so I came up with the idea of doing this trick using a shell. And that's how we're doing it, and I'll go over that with you in a sec. So we marketed, but Art wanted to make the trick very user-friendly, so he tried to change the instructions to make it easier to follow, and it actually made it more difficult to follow. It was very confusing, so we had a falling out, and we took it off the market. I remember not too long ago, I was talking to Mark D'Souza on the phone, and I said, hey, whatever happened to that guy, Art Kahn? And he said, no, he died some years ago. And I said, oh. And then I said, well, I asked about another magician. He said, he just died 2 weeks ago. And then he told me not to ask about anybody else. So this trick has gone through several permutations. I actually performed this version, or a version similar to this, on the New York Coin Magic Seminar DVD set. But what I did was I had a choice of, I think, 5 different stickers, and I had 6 decks to switch out in the trick. And that just wasn't practical for most people to do, even though it was a fooler. So I then came up with this solution, which makes it very easy for anybody to do. So now let's go over what I have. I have 4 old copper coins, and I have 2 decks, a chalice, and a box. And I guess I'm going to talk about the deck first. This deck is a 4-way deck. That is, I got 4 aces of hearts in it, 8 of hearts. So if we take a look through the cards, I have, around 10 from the top. I have this blue sticker on the top left corner. If I keep going, at the bottom left is a green sticker right there, also an 8 of hearts. Now if you turn the deck around and you go down around 10 cards or so, is a red sticker, 8 of hearts. And at the bottom left, if you keep going down, you get a yellow sticker. So this way, it doesn't matter what they choose, I can produce the force card at the end. So I put this in the deck, and I always have the blue one on top, so I know when I take the deck out, if he chooses blue or green, I take the deck out and I spread them like this. If he says red or yellow, I turn the deck around and I spread it the other way, okay? So that's always set up for me so I know which color will come out. So this one, he chose the blue one. I put this in the deck, and I have this labeled with a little dot at the bottom so I know which is the gimmicked one. And I just have this in my pocket, so just one extra deck. This one, I'm not really a card guy, so you guys can do this much better than I can. I start with the 8 of hearts on top, and I don't take chances, and I do the one force that I know, and I'm sure you guys know much better ones than I do, but I cut the cards, get a pinky break, and I have a big pinky break. That's a big one. And I riffle these cards. Whatever he says stop, I push down, and then I pull back at the pinky break, and he gets the 8 of hearts, which he could then mix up, and I don't care where it goes because I'm not going to use this deck again. Okay, so that's how that part goes. Now let's talk about the coins for a minute. So these are 4 old copper coins. These are King George English pennies, and I also have an expanded shell. Okay? I write in silver Sharpie the words, "You chose the 8 of hearts," and the shell goes over, and I wrote on the face of each coin. The shell goes over the face, and I'm going to take the sticker off for right now. We'll put it back on in a sec just so you can follow. And the way the setup goes is I have the U coin on top, face down, so the tail side is showing. Then I have the shell face up. The shell is on top with the 8 of hearts underneath. Okay. Chose the. Okay, just like that. Now, I think this works better with dark coins, but for those guys who want to do this trick, you can do it with any expanded shell and 4 light coins. You know, you can write with black Sharpie on a $50 if you want to. So you can do this trick without any of the props that I have here. This is just a little bag, a little jewelry bag, and I have this marked with silver so I know which side is up, and I stick them in there, and I tie this up. Now, the chalice is actually an Arab teacup that I got in Jerusalem. And I had my friend go to Jerusalem and buy every single one he could find because they don't make them anymore. I don't know why, but they stopped making these sets. And so I stick that in there. I've got stickers. These are commercial stickers that you can buy right from Staples or some other stationery store that have the 4 colors. It could be any 4 colors, doesn't matter. I got a bunch of them cut so I can just do the trick anytime with whatever. This box, now you don't have to use the box, but this box is really kind of cool. And this is actually, which is kind of morbid, but this is actually a cremation box for dogs and cats. It is a voodoo trick that, you know, what do you want to do? So yeah, the animal was laying around the office too for about 2 weeks. Anyway, yeah, you know, being a vet, you know, you find all sorts of things. Somebody came into me with a dog and they said, you know what kind of dog this is, Havanese? And I said, I do have Havanese and 2 nephews. But anyway. So the chalice goes in the box. Now, these are kind of expensive props. I actually sell this trick commercially, but you don't have to buy all these expensive props. I have a friend who does this with an egg cup, and you can probably find little drinking cups like that anywhere. You can use any glass. It doesn't have to be like that, but I like the idea of the fanciness, and it's nice that I have everything in one place, and you could use any box for this. So you don't have to spend all the money and buy the special things, and you just have the 2 cards. So the card's forced. After it's forced, I put it away, and I put it behind the gimmick deck so I don't pull it back out, because if I pull it back out, the trick's bad. So now I'm going to just, even though I put everything away, we're going to kind of go over it again. So I take the little bag out, take off this thing. That used to be inside here, but it popped out, and you just wrap it around. I think it looks even nicer. I like the box also because you can just toss it in there. The first coin, which is the U coin, I put it on my palm. I put my fingers on the coin, turn my hand upside down, let the coin fall to my fingertips, and put that down over here. So the U is underneath. So you're really just showing the same side twice. It's a casual display. Nobody even cares. And that's why I like using these dark old copper coins, because you can't really see the face very well, and nobody's really that familiar with them. So they don't really know that they're seeing the same side twice. They're not paying attention. Now this one is the shell coin. I put that on my palm, same thing, put my hand over, put it down, and now they see the head side, but it doesn't matter that they saw it twice. Again, it's very old, and it's very, very hard to see. And of course,
can you show that move from the side so we can see it from the side?
Sure.
Exactly what's going on there.
I just put it on my hand, put my fingers on it, turn my hand over, and go like this, and I put it down. So if I put it over here, it's basically showing the same side twice. And I do it 2 more times with this. I put this one here, and I have this one in my hand. Even though this one's not on my palm, I do the same thing. I put my fingers on both coins, turn my hands over, put my fingers on the letter side, and I put them both down. So now everything is pretty, it looks like I've just casually shown both sides of the coins, but I haven't. Now I do the jokes about the sticker. It doesn't matter which sticker he chooses, and I put it on the shell. We're going to put it right back on the shell. And now I pick this up, making sure that I show the other side so it looks very, very natural. Say this coin is more powerful than the other ones. But to fully harness its magic, I'm going to isolate it under the chalice. Again, an egg cup also has a bottom like this. You could even just put it on a glass. It's really up to you. A shot glass, probably an opaque shot glass would work. And this is the only move that, and it's not difficult. I take the coin with my thumb as I'm going to put that down, and I just lift the shell right off. Let's see if I can just do this a little better. It's hard to do slow. Just like that. And then I just turn my hand over and I let the 8 of hearts, so from the front I'm like this. I just let the 8 of hearts fall over, face down, and then all I do is I let that fall back into finger palm. Okay? So, once again, I'll just do it. So you say, this one has got to be isolated under the chalice. I turn my hand over. I'm in this position. I drop this. That goes into finger palm, and I cover it. Okay? Is that clear? The rest is really easy. There's really nothing difficult in this trick, yet it's a very powerful trick. I now pick up the first coin, which is the, and I grab it, and I actually slide it into the shell as I wave it. And now I reveal the blue sticker. I now point here, and I hold this in almost like a purse palm position, trapped between my first finger and my pinky, which holds the shell, so when I turn my hand over, the coin pops right out, the coin. But I don't let people see the mark. I just turn it over like this, put my thumb on the coin, and then put it into the eggshell cup like that, while this falls back into finger palm. The second time, I take this, put that over that, wave. There's the blue sticker, just from waving it over the chalice. Again, I've grabbed it with the tips of my fingers, the thumb and the first finger and the pinky. Turn my hand up, release the coin out of the shell, the chose, put my finger on it and put that right on top. Do the same thing here. Grab that, slide it into the shell, wave it over, show, and put that in there. Now I relax, and I say, now it's time to do the voodoo that you do. And I go into my pocket, and I leave the shell. And I pull out the marked deck, okay, the deck with the 4 stickers in it. And I just leave it here. Doesn't matter that I had it in my pocket. Nobody's suspecting anything. Nobody's even caring about the deck right now. So it's a really nice way of switching out the deck. Now I reach in here, and I pull out the first coin, and the first coin is going to be the U. Okay. Then I pull out the chose. Then I pull out the. You chose the. This is a pretty nice revelation because you turn that over, and it says 8 of hearts, exactly the card that they chose. That's pretty powerful right away. But now you give them that kicker, and you go through the deck and you find the blue sticker. Are there any questions on this routine? It's actually a very easy routine, and it's very powerful. In fact, this is my closing routine when I do my show. I'm not holding anything back tonight. But the nest of boxes used to be my closer till I decided to incorporate this. And you know what? This is so powerful. I think you guys, if you do it, you'll have a real reputation maker on your hands. Any questions? Okay, well, thank you.
Hey, Michael, going back to the last trick, I have somebody asking here if you have any tips on angles for the spellbound change.
Good question. And the answer is, when you're doing spellbound, and we're going to talk about spellbound, but let's just do it with bigger coins for a second. So, if you're doing spellbound, and I have one coin here and one coin here, obviously the angle that's bad is going to be the side. So, I always watch my angles when I'm dealing with people, and if I'm dealing with a few people, you know, I try and position myself so that I'm facing them. So if I'm doing it for the camera, you guys would be in front. But if I have people on the side, I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to come over, and if that's still not possible, I'll pull my hand back, which gives me more protection. So I won't be out here, I'll be more in here. You know, we're closer to the body. That gives me more protection. So that would be my answer, would be to move closer to the body, or if you're surrounded, you may not be able to do a spellbound routine. You know, you have to also know your audience and know your positions and know what you can do and what you can't do under certain circumstances. But in general, if you're doing this trick like at a party, and we'll talk about that a little later on, if it's for me, I'm not home. But anyway, I will, look at my angles and I'll determine which trick to do. So are there any questions so far on anything that we've done? Good, good.
Great. Everybody at home.
Thank you.
Everybody at home must be happy. They've got no questions that we can't ask.
All right.
That we have to ask right now.
Say again, you have no more questions there?
Not that we have to ask right now. We got something that we'll ask once you come over here, but you must be doing.
All right. Well, now it's time for a Rubenstein quickie, which pretty much describes my sex life. Yeah, I know. I told you they get worse. Okay. So, anyway, you hear about the comedian who went to the teller and said, "This is a shtick-up"? And it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I've got a silver coin here, and if I hold the coin by 2 sides, nothing happens. But if I touch it by 4 sides, it becomes copper, but it's an illusion because it's only Chinese. Wow. Ooh. That's it. Thank you. When I said it was a quickie, I meant it was a quickie. So this is actually something I put out in Richard's Almanac back in the 80s, and it was very, very popular. It was called Triple EG Spell. It's just a quick 3-way spellbound change. And I like it because it is very quick and it's very visual. And it uses 3 coins. So we have a fake Chinese coin, I don't know who makes that, an old English penny, because I like the contrast, and a shiny silver coin. And I use the old copper coins as opposed to the shiny 1967 English pennies, because if the light's hitting the coins, sometimes it's very hard from a distance to tell the difference between the colors. But if you're using an old, dull, Queen Victorian or King George English penny, you're they're very, very dark, and it gives you much better contrast. So the way this works is I hold the copper coin, which is actually slightly bigger than the $50 and the Chinese coin, and I hold them in edge grip. Edge grip is the position popularized by David Roth. So when you hold a coin like this, the hand looks pretty empty. And if you come over here, you can see, it looks like there's nothing in the hand. And David became very, very well known for this position. Kainoa, of course, has done edge grip where he puts it back a little bit further, but this is the edge grip position that David popularizes. So I take the coin and I put it in my hand, and I hold it between my thumb and my second finger. Now, the move is actually very, very easy because you're not really doing anything. I take my hand and I turn it over so that you can see the British penny, and I put it right over the $50, and I let that $50 drop into finger palm as I put the coins there. So I say if you touch it by 2 sides, nothing happens, but if you touch it by 4 sides, boom, it's English penny. And your hand actually provides the misdirection, because as you're coming over here, you don't see anything, and there it is. Now I grab the Chinese coin underneath, and I keep the copper coin in the same position, and I go like this, and I grab it into edge grip. Okay? So the first change is like this, then I just lift up my hand, boom, look at that. Super fast. Okay? And that's a very, very quick, nice way. I think Reed McClintock took this and extended it and made his own routine after reading this initial thing. But it's 1, 2, done. Any questions on this? Great, thank you. Thank you. Now, a lot of people ask me where I get my coins, and I go to card shows. There's a card show every month in Paramus, New Jersey, and I won't even go there with the name, so we're not even going to talk about that. But once a month there's a coin show, and I went there and I got this really nice coin which I want to show you guys. It's beautiful. It's a pristine 1964 $50. I don't know, maybe you can see it in the camera because it's hard to pass it around. Maybe not. But I almost wasn't going to buy it, and I asked the guy how much it was, and he said it was only $7. And I said, $7 for such a beautiful coin? Why is that? And he explained to me that now nobody really cares about the value of the coins. They just care about the value of the silver. The economy's tanked a little bit, and silver's gone up in price. So now they talk about melt value of coins. And nobody really cares about what a coin is worth. They just care about the silver content. And in fact, the 64 Kennedys didn't have very much. So they don't even talk about the melt value. They talk about the peel value. That is the amount that you can get from just peeling the silver right off the coin, just like this. And you can actually take the silver off. The center has no silver in it, so it's not worth very much. Almost like there's nothing even there. No. Actually, what's worth it is this little tiny bit of silver. And it's not even a lot. And I realized, what fun is having a little tiny dab of silver? I'd rather wait till the economy gets better, and I can actually show my beautiful silver coin, which I'll hold on to until that happens. Thank you. So this is my take on a very commercial trick called silver extraction. The idea was, initially, you'd take a silver coin, You'd like wave some fire under it, and a piece of silver would come out, and you'd be left with this plastic disc. And I liked the trick at first, but I didn't like the idea that you were left with a plastic disc. Now, these discs are really well made. If you can actually see the image of the $half and the head and the tail on them, they're very, very well made. But you know what? At the end of the trick, if someone was left with this, they'd look at this and they go, oh, it's a plastic disc that has the image of Kennedy and the tails on it. They know it's not the same coin, and they think it's just a very clever switch that you did, even though the trick may have been entertaining. So this sat in my drawer for many, many years. But I liked the idea, and I always wanted to know, how can I do something with this to make it look magically like I'm extracting the silver, and yet not make people think that, that it's just a switch for a disc. So I came up with this routine. And the routine uses tin foil, and I use this little purse, and you don't have to use the purse, but the purse really helps me if I'm carrying something around in my pocket. Let's talk about preparing the coin first. So you get a little piece of tin foil, and if you're watching this from different countries, there are different types of tin foil. Try and get the heavy-duty tin foil. It doesn't really matter because they're not really staring at it for a long time, but they could even be smaller than this. This is just a piece I cut out. And you fold the tin foil over the plastic disc, and if you rub, you can actually see the image of, like, that's the tails. You can see that if you look close. I mean, it really looks, there we go, without the light on it. That looks good. Head side, okay, so you can see that it really looks like a $half in there. Then you're going to cut away the outside. So I cut, I don't know, about a ½ an inch around, and then come around this way. And usually I try and get it to the end. So I'll cut it just so that, the end is pretty close over there. And I usually fold it upwards at the tail side, just to be consistent. So I'll fold this up, fold this up, fold this up. So I get this little ball. It's not perfect. I mean, it looks like a $half pretty much, but they're never really going to see this thing. And I have this nice 1964 $half in this little tiny one-coin purse. And the reason I like this purse, and you don't need to use it, but it's just that I can stick this in there, so I can keep this in my pocket. And then anytime I'm ready, I take it out, and now the secret gimmick is there. So I talk about the pristine coin. Let me just get all this stuff off the table because, this is filming and we want the table to look pretty. How's that? Good? Okay. So I open this up, take the $half out, show it around. Usually I'm doing it for stand-up, so I'm giving it to somebody to hold. And I talk about how this is, not really worth very much. It's the peel value. Now, what I do here is I've got this in finger palm, and usually there's one section that's like a little thicker than the rest, and I make sure that's up to the top of my thumb. I now come underneath the coin, and I come up to the top, and with my finger, I flick the foil up. So from underneath, it looks like this, flick, and then I pull down. Now, they didn't see the switch, so all of a sudden they see me pulling silver off what seems to be the same coin. And I just pull it off, and I pull this out, and I just drop that to the table. This goes into my hand, and now I'm going to do a move which I've basically gotten a reputation for over the years. It's called the ROPS move. It's a move called the ROPS moves, Retention Open Palm Steel. And instead of teaching it with the disc first, I'm going to teach it with the $half, which, by the way, was in finger palm. So let me teach this. This is a retention vanish, but there's no transfer. The coin is in your hand, and that's when I use it. I use it when I have one coin in my hand and I want to take that coin out. So you could see the coin there, but the coin is gone. That's the ROPS move. Let's do that again. So there's the coin, little wave, and it's gone. Can you guys see that on the camera? Let's go a little close up tight. You can see maybe a little tighter on that. Okay. That look okay for you guys? Okay, so that's the ROPS move. Now, how do we do the ROPS move? The ROPS move is done by putting the coin on the fatty part of your thumb so that when I close my hand, the coin can pop up. That makes it easier. The other hand goes into a pointing position. The thumb goes onto the intersection between the upper and middle phalanges. The third and pinky come down, and the first finger is extended. Okay, that's the pointing position. Now, it looks like I'm touching this coin twice, but I'm really only touching the coin once. On the second tap, I'm stealing the coin out of my hand. So I'm going to do this very slow, and you're going to see how it works in terms of the steps. 1, close. And when I do the cover of my hand, the coin is now popped up against my second finger. The thumb is right behind it. 1, 2. Okay? I'm stopping the action here. Now what happens is, at this point, as I continue to close my hand, I'm making a snapping motion. So I lift my thumb up and bring the second finger into my hand like that. And that's the move. The coin sits on that fingertip. 1, close, and steal it out. And of course, I'm stealing it out as I'm continuing to close my hand. So from the side, it's going to look like this. I'm going to do it very slow, then I'm going to do it up at natural speed. 1, 2, and I continue to close my hand. From the front, 1, 2, and I'm coming out. Now, of course, you can do it a little faster than that, but you don't want to do it too fast. You don't want to look like you're doing a move. You don't touch it like that. So I'm just indicating the coin. That's all I'm doing. Indicating the coin. So 1, done. I'm stealing it out on the second tap. So think of it as tap, steal, tap, steal. The movement is that. That's all you're doing. The thumb does most of the work, but the thumb never really moves. It's here, never really moves, and then just comes up. All right, that's the Mrpl move. So let's get back to this routine. So I peel the stuff off. I hold this over here. I've got that in finger palm in the right hand, and I say the center really isn't worth anything at all, almost like it's not even there. Now, they only saw the plastic for a second. They really didn't see it very much. So they saw that there's something clear. They don't know what it is. They don't know it's a piece of plastic that's commercially sold. They just see something that may look like a coin. They're not sure. They don't know. They just saw silver being pulled off. They have no idea what's going on. Now, I go ahead and I have the, and by the way, you don't hear any noise as you have the plastic part on top of the $50 because it's like soft coins. It doesn't make noise. So now as I go to pick up the foil, I bring my coins into the palm of my hand and I classic palm both. You don't have to classic palm well just to hold them in classic palm position. You can keep your fingers here as far as I'm concerned, so you don't even have to really classic palm them well. You now pick up the foil and you squeeze it together. You can keep your fingers closed here. You can open them up if you have a good classic palm. It's up to you. Make it into a little ball, and now you do like a billiard ball move. I pretend to place this in my hand, but I allow the silver coin, which is much heavier than the plastic coin, to fall into my hand. So I just do this, let it drop. Because the plastic is sticky, it sticks to the hand, so it makes it easier. And again, you don't have to have a good classic palm for this. So again, we're not really doing anything difficult. So I pretend to place it in my hand, let that fall down, close my hand, I let that fall to the base of my fingers, and I let the disc fall on top of that. Okay? Go like this, and I show the coin. I then pick up the purse, and that's why I like the purse. I put the purse right on top of everything, so my hand looks very, very empty. And now slide the coin back in, close that up, and that's silver extraction. Thank you. Yes?
Since they don't see the commercial disc very long, you could use just a plain old plexiglass disc.
Sure. You could even use, that's right, a little piece of glass, a little piece of plastic. Right. It doesn't matter what it is. It just has to be something that, I mean, it doesn't even, they never really even see the image that I show you through the foil because it's really only for a second. So although the discs are pretty cheap, you can buy them from any magic store, but you can also make your own, get a plastic disc. That's not a problem. Yes?
So it's almost like they see a nimbus. They don't really see, they think they see something.
They see something. They don't know what it is. I don't give them a chance to really see what it is because it vanishes, and that's even more mysterious. One of the things with magic, there was a thread on the Magic Cafe about what makes a false transfer credible. And one of the comments is that, if you wait too long, people are going to look to see the coins in your other hand. So in order to avoid people starting to think that way, it's dictated by your next action. If I'm holding the coin there long enough, they're going to want to look at it. So I don't give them a chance to look at it. So that, the magic happened already, they're stunned. All of a sudden, the magic happened again. Now it's completely gone. And so, by you dictating the next action, you can eliminate a lot of the thought process from your spectators. Are there any other questions on this? Cool. You guys are doing great. You ready for some more?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, I'm a little tired. I've been doing this for now, I guess, I'm about 70 minutes into the lecture. Not 70 years old, but I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit down for the next one. Okay. That feels better. And I'm sitting down because I want to show you guys something. I want to explain something. I've got something here that you can see that are very interesting. Surprise, they're coins. They're silver coins. You can touch them, you can feel them. They're solid, they're real, they got mass. They're very nice coins, but I'm going to show you something that you can't see. And I got it in my pocket. Put it right there. It's a little tiny hole, and I know what you're thinking he was so normal until he brought out that hole. But you can't see it and you can't feel it, yet I'm going to prove to you that it's there, not by its physical properties, but by its metaphysical characteristics. And I'm going to demonstrate using 1, using 2, using 3, using $4.50, which are going to go right over the center of the table. This hand goes underneath, and with a little push, one of those coins goes right through the table and into the hand below. Cool, huh? I did it with the first, but I can do it with the others as well. I'm going to hold those there. I'm going to take this $50 and put this one underneath and just push just right in the center, right over that hole. And that next one goes right through the table. So that leaves 2 coins just sitting here looking pretty. These 2 coins have already gone through. These 2 go underneath. This goes above. And just like that, the third coin goes right through the table. That leaves one last coin. It just rolls and rolls. I'd like it to bagel, but it just rolls and rolls. That joke was my breadwinner. But I got a wry sense of humor. What can I say? Yeah. I told you they get worse. Notice how we started laughing, and I'm just getting groans now. That's exactly what I'm looking for. One last coin, which we're going to make go through the table and join these 3. This one goes under, this goes over, and the last coin, just like that, goes right through the table.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you. So this trick happens to be my favorite trick of all time that I've ever done. I learned the first version of coins through the table when I was 15 years old, and it was taught to me by a card magician actually named Tony Yekon, who was a part of the magic club that I went to in Syracuse, New York. And I did that version for years, and it fooled everybody. I loved this trick. And then one day I was talking with David Roth, and we were talking about how as you get better as a magician, your magic improves. And as you improve, you look to improve your magic because you now have better abilities. And I was saying this is one trick that I never improved, and I did the trick, and I realized, my God, this trick cried out for improvements because I was doing the same thing essentially 3 times in a row. So I came up with this routine, which I've been very, very proud of and I've been very happy with, and it uses some interesting ideas. But first of all, before we get into this routine, I'm going to sit on a soapbox. I'd say stand on a soapbox, but I'm sitting down. So people in magic today talk about how sit-down magic is old hat. You know, everyone does stand-up, walk around. Nobody does sit-down magic anymore. It's old school, etc., etc. I beg to differ. That's right. And I won't even beg. I differ. And the reason I differ is this, because most of the time, if you're not a professional magician, when are you doing a lot of your magic? You're doing magic when you're sitting down with friends after dinner, or you're out on a date, and you want to impress your girlfriend, so you do the magic, and you're sitting down. And it's a perfect thing to do after dinner. Now, nobody's going to stand up and do the magic, because now all of a sudden you're not sitting with those people anymore, but you're performing for them. There's a big difference between sitting with them and performing for them. Now let's look at something else. Right now you can see, right here, you can see my face, you can see my hands, you can see the coins, you can see everything right here. Now let's say I stand up. Okay? Now what happens? You got to look at the table, you got to look at my face, you got to look at the table, you got to look at the face. It's like a tennis match. Okay? That's not good. I mean, it's good for some things, but for many situations, it's tiring. But if you're sitting down, you get that whole nice picture. And I'm willing to bet most of the people who are out there who do magic have done magic sitting at a table. And if you're sitting at a table, then you should use your abilities that you can from sitting at a table. And this trick involves lapping. And it also uses some very nice moves, so let's talk about them now. And there are stand-up versions of points to the table, but this is a trick that I do when I'm relaxed with friends. And as I said, it's been my favorite trick, and I will continue to feel that way for the rest of my life because it's just such an amazing trick. So you have 4 coins. You talk about that. You can see them. You can touch them. You take out the invisible hole. You say you can't see it. You can't feel it either, but I'm going to prove to you it's there. Now I do another false count. I'm going to make believe that I'm counting 4 coins into my left hand, but I'm really only going to count 3. I'm going to retain or steal back one of the coins. So I put the first one right next to my pinky and my middle finger, right at the base. Okay, right there. The second one, I'm pushing it off with my thumb on the right hand, push it up, and I come over, and I put it right behind it. Now comes the move. I'm going to steal this coin on the next count. So I push the next coin, the third coin, to my fingertips. I come over my top of my first finger, And when I put this hand down, my second finger goes between the two coins, like that. I let that drop onto the first coin. It's hard to do slow, but I let it drop onto the first coin. Then I use my thumb and I grab the coin behind it and pull it up against my two fingers. And then I come away, closing my hand a little bit, and push that over and down. So it looks like I'm counting 4 coins, but I'm really only counting 3, and one of them is being counted twice. Let's look at that again. I'll do it from the side, maybe to be easier for you guys to see at home. 1, over the first finger. 2, here comes the steel. Push that to my fingertips, over the first finger. Look at that. 3, grab this one, come over. 4, and that one stays in the position held by the third finger and third finger palm. So from the front, at the rate I do it, 1, 2, you don't have to rush, 3, 4, and you still have one there. Are there any questions on that move? Okay. Now at this point I've counted 4 coins apparently into my hand. I lift my hand up and I lean back. As I lean back, my right hand casually drops to the edge of the table where I lap this coin. Boom, just like that. And you got to keep your legs close together, because if you don't, the trick is not good. So keep your legs pressed together. Some people actually use a tablecloth. When I do magic at a dinner table, you have your dinner napkin there. That's a great servant. Use it. Make use of it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. Just make sure your legs are nice and tight. And this hand comes up. As this hand casually comes down, drops it, and then I come over to show the hand is empty. The attention is here, whether you counted the 4 coins. I come up 4 coins here, this hand empty. So they don't really see anything at this edge of the table. Okay? This hand goes under, and when you go under, you go all the way to the right, and you put your hand underneath the table. Then you bend your hand at the elbow, and you pick up the coin off your lap. So we don't have a transparent table, but that's what we do under. I put my hand underneath, bend, grab the coin, boom, first coin goes, and I put this coin over here at the right. Now, a lot of these 4 coin through the tables routines involve multiple counting. I don't count. They saw the first 4 coins, that's it. I now say I'm going to do it with these 3. They're held at a fan at the right fingertips, with the top coin under my thumb, the bottom coin under the second finger. I go to place all 3 of them into my hand, but I only place the top 2. The one at the bottom stays in my hand as I put these 2 here. I have good cover, and it just stays right there on the fingertip. So I say I'm going to do this with the other 3. I come over here. Now it's just sitting on my fingertip. I now put my hand in a relaxed position, and which is like this, and I put it into thumb palm, okay? So let me do this. 3 coins, where I say we now can do it with the others. I come over here, drop my hand down. It's there. I now put it into finger palm as I extend my hand, and I'm going to come over to grab this one. But as I do, the thumb only comes to the edge of the table where I lap that coin, and I come over. So it doesn't look like my hand actually went to the edge. Now, when people mostly will do the lapping, they're going to come over like this. We don't have to do that. So in regular motion, you're going to do it with the other 3. They're held here. Pause. Thumb palm, come over. Grab that. It doesn't look like you even went near the edge of the table. This hand goes underneath. I bend my hand, and I grab the coin. And I put them here, and I put these to the left side of my table. This is an Al Goshman move now from one of his coin through the table routines, and it's a great move. I pick these 2 up, and I say, 2 coins left here sitting pretty. The one on top is back. It's sitting on top, but it's backwards. This one's right at the tip of my fingers. And I close my hand, leaving that coin in heel clip. That is, it's sitting outside my hand. Now, I got to get these over here, but this is very uncomfortable. This doesn't look very good. This is very bad. So no one's going to do that. The natural way to get that is for this hand to move backwards as you pick this up. Under this, you've got all this cover of your hand. You could even hold this up in the air because you got your hand covering, and you can just, boom, just let it fall. Okay? So 2 coins here sitting pretty. These 2 coins have already gone through the table. These 2 go under. Nobody even notices the hand goes back. And the next coin goes right through, and I stack them. 1, 2, 3. Now, I just did the rolling of the coin on the finger just to make a joke. You're really not supposed to do that the way the trick is constructed, because we're using the Mrpl1 move. The Mrpl1 move is supposed to save a false transfer. So if I have the coin in this hand, I really should be doing a false transfer to pretend to place it in the other hand, but I don't want to do that. I pick the coin up with this hand, and I say, 1 last coin. And what I'm doing is the Mrpl1 move. So again, for the camera, 1 last coin to go through the table. See my hand's pausing. It's sitting on my second finger, just like the Mrpl1 move. Put it into thumb palm. put my hand here, swing across. Now these are all stacked, so I just stack them up, and I take them and put them underneath. So it's a very, very nice way of doing it, and the last coin goes through. The important thing is, when you're putting these coins down, they're all on top of each other. So when I take this coin and I steal it out, I just push them all together. And that's very, very nice, and it's easy. There's no finagling. It goes under, and I push, and the last coin goes right through the table. Thank you. Any questions on that? Thank you. Okay, that ends the sit-down portion of our show. So, I'm going to stand. And let me just take a little drink. All righty. What should we do next? I know. On New Year's Eve, okay, I usually go out to dinner with my wife, we come home, and we get involved watching the Twilight Zone marathon. You guys ever see that? It's my favorite thing. I wait all year for the Twilight Zone marathon because that was my favorite show of all time, Rod Serling and all these great things happening. And there's one show that they never show during the rest of the year, and it's only reserved for the marathon. It's usually on like at 3 in the morning. But it's always there, and I love to watch it. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I'm going to kind of describe that to you now. So imagine, if you will, it's Old England, and there's a guy shining shoes, and he's shining the shoes of Rod Serling, who says, "Case in point, one George Midas, a shoeshine boy, a man who's never received an even break in his life until he received a golden opportunity to enter the Twilight Zone." That's right. So there's George shining shoes, and at the end of the day, he takes a look into his purse. Didn't do very well. No. He only got 1, 2, 3 old copper coins, not even enough to buy his evening's meal, and he realized that once again he'd have to be hungry and talk about the poverty that he lived in with his wife. And he noticed that the coin was really dusty, and he didn't know why, but he just decided to clean it up. So he took a piece of dust off and he tossed it to the side, but when he looked back, the coin had changed to gold. Solid gold. He didn't know what had happened as he took the coin, and he took the second old dusty coin, and he cleaned it by rubbing it on his sleeve. When he looked back, that coin had also changed to gold. Solid gold. As twice he touched the coin and twice it changed, he wondered if the magic had happened again. He just blew on the coin, and just like that, it changed to gold. At that point, he realized he had the power and the abilities to get back at the people who put him into his misery. But at that moment, the coins changed back to copper. And as the scene ended, you could hear Rod Serling say, "Yes, George Midas, a man with a true gift, a real Midas touch. But gifts used for the wrong reasons can also be taken back to the refund counters of the Twilight Zone." Thank you. Thank you. So this has also been one of my favorite routines through the years. I actually put out a version on the DVD set called Knockout Coin Magic, which used a cup and 4 coins, and it was the same basic story. And it played bigger because the cup plays bigger, but I wanted to also be able to do this walk around. And that was a great routine, but I wanted to actually do it so I can actually carry it in my pocket. And carrying the cup around wasn't very practical. So I came up with this idea using a purse. This is just an old purse, but it kind of fits the mood of the old story. And I have 3 old copper coins, okay? And I have a gold-plated coin. And by the way, after we teach this routine, I'm going to teach you how you can do it without the story and the special coins. So this is a gold-plated old copper coin, and I have that in finger palm. And you can actually just keep this all in your pocket with this on the outside and finger palm the coin when you take the purse out. Tell the story of George Midas. You open the purse, take the coins out. Purse stays open. 1, 2, and now the 3rd coin, okay? The first move is a standard spellbound move like we did before. You come to the side. The finger goes on the gold coin. You come across. Let that drop down to your finger palm. Grab the gold coin and come away. So you have the first change. So from the front, looks very magical. And you're doing this as the act of tossing dust away. Okay, that's the idea. So you're looking over here, then you come back, and it's like a surprise. The coin changed to gold. I pick up the coin and I do a little move that Jeff Lotta used to do. He used to flip the coin around, and it was always really cool. Just put the second finger under the coin and you turn it around. It's called the fidget move. I think somebody else was also claiming credit for this, but I've seen Jeff do this since the early 70s. And And it's just a nice way of showing a coin both sides. And we just call it a fidget. It's not really a move. But you take the coin, show both sides. And now you're going to pretend to place this into your hand, and you're going to do kind of like a fingertip retention pass. This is a really nice move that you can do, and it's very easy to do. So I go into my hand. Now I've got the copper coin here, okay? I pretend to take the coin, but what I'm really doing is just putting the coin on my second finger. So all I'm doing is extending the second finger, placing the coin on the finger. So the coin's going from here to there, from here to here, from here to here, under the guise of placing the coin into my hand. So I come over, looks like I take the coin, okay? Now as I reach for the second coin, I kind of walk this back. Walking it back just means that I use my fingers and move it into finger palm position. And I pick up this coin, the second one, and I say it's old and dusty, and I rub that on my sleeve. Now we've already learned this move. This is the slide move. So I take the coin and I stick it behind the gold coin, okay? Turn around like this. So there's the coin, stick it behind, rub the coin on my sleeve, and now push this one out. So I take the second coin, slide move, rub it on my sleeve, and there's the coin fidget move. And now I just do a bobo switch. I hold the coin and I don't let go, but I extend my finger, and I pretend to drop the gold coin, but I extend the other fingers and I drop the finger palm copper coin just like that. Okay, and I close my hand. So I just made a change, and there's the second coin, okay? Pick up the third one, and I blow the dust off. Now what I do is I extend my hand so you can see that, and I extend the finger, which allows me now, I go like this. And I slide it behind there as I go to blow, and I push the other one out. Okay, so from the front, here's the old copper coin, slide move done, and I push this out, rotate it around my finger. The third coin is changed. Drop that into my hand over these, okay, make a magical motion, and have them change back to copper. We okay over there? Camera's still working? Okay. All right, I now take these coins and I put the first one, fidget move, put it into the purse. Second coin, fidget move, put it into the purse. Pick up the purse, and you could pick it up, but I like it doing this way. You could pick up for all three. Fidget move, drop them in, close it up, times with your story, and the trick is over. Are there any questions on this? It's a very easy and magical routine, and it's, again, it's a trick that I used because it's something everyone knows at the Twilight Zone. We talk about watching the marathon, so it draws them in. And the story, works nicely. It's magical. They see the magic happening, so everything kind of fits. So it's kind of like a showpiece. Now let's say you wanted to do this trick, walk around at a party. Well, there are ways to do that. So let me just show you with three silver coins, and you have the old copper coin. So you don't have to use old barber half dollars. You could use whatever coins you want. But you can do this in someone's hand. So I'm just going to do this on the table right now, but you can count the coins into someone's hand so they can evaluate them. You make the first change, just like this. Same move. Take that coin. Take the second one. Roll it on your sleeve. Second coin changes. Okay. Third one. Do the same thing. Blow. That one changes. Drop it in. Now this is where the move changes a little because you're working with somebody in their hand, right? Go like this. Change them back into the 3 silver coins. As I go to take the first one, I move this copper coin into nowhere palm. So if you remember, I can bring that into nowhere palm just like this. Take the first coin, put it into their hand. Take the second coin, put it into their hand. Now this is a cool move. This is a nice switch, changeover palm. You show the third coin, holding it with your thumb and your first finger. The second and third finger are out. I go to take this coin. The nowhere palm coin, which is there, maybe I can do it like this, is just left on the second and third fingers as I take this coin and I give it to them into their hands. So now my hands look empty, and you can classic palm this or finger palm it or whatever you want. So from the front, it looks like this. You've counted those in, the last one, and your hands now, both hands are empty. So that's a really, really nice trick. Thank you. I usually do this with somebody here standing up, but I'll just do it for right now with the table. I just noticed that there's like a little thread here, a little piece of silver thread that was bothering me. It's not a very big thread. In fact, I can roll it into a little ball just like that. If I take that ball and I blow on it, it changes into a silver coin just like that. Now, if I take that silver coin and I wave my hand over it, it becomes copper. I can do that again. I can just wave my hand on the coin and change it into silver. I can change it like this, or I can just wave my hand over it and make it change to silver. If I place that in my pocket, it comes back over here. The weird thing is that if I take that coin and I give it a little squeeze, it changes back into that little ball, and if I unroll the ball, I can actually put it back here for later on. Thank you. So this is my version of silver lint, and I like this routine because it has some very clean displays. I've done several versions over the years. This one eliminates classic palming 2 coins, and it gives some very nice open displays because you're using something called JW grip. So using 2 coins, copper and silver, and I have them in finger palm in my hand. Now, usually I'm doing this at a party, and I say to somebody, I say, there's a little piece of silver lint on your sleeve, and I take it off the sleeve. As I'm doing that, I pop these, okay? I pop these up into a clip position with the first and second finger, and then as I take this piece of lint, I grab it while this coin goes into JW grip, which is that. That is, the coins go from the clip position, being held by the bent-in first finger. Can you see that? Okay, so that's JW grip. And so I take the dust, I take it like this, and I've got a very clean display. Now, you can pose, but posing isn't good. But I have a reason for holding my hand like this because I'm rolling it into a little ball. So they see my hand empty. If I can go like this, you can see the hand empty except for the rolling it. Now I gesture here, which is my misdirection, to turn my hand back, and I grab the coins and I hold them like that. So from here, I just do that, and I put it back into the clip position. So I take the piece of dust, roll it into the silver ball, come over like this, put both coins into my hand, so I've got the coins like this, and I just place them on my first and second finger. Okay, so here, and I just wave it, and I push the silver coin, the fingertips. Now I'm using old worn coins, but if you're careful, you can use, shiny coins, it doesn't matter. And I put that here. And now my hand drops down. I've made a production. It doesn't look like I'm doing anything else. And by the way, this spellbound routine is structured to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. The color changes are really just the middle of a routine. When people just change colors of the coins, they're just doing the middle. They're not starting a trick or ending a trick. It's like a book. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end. And with every routine, there should be a beginning, middle, and end. The color changes are just the middle. If I just took a coin, and I just kept saying, there's the silver coin, there's a copper coin, there's a silver coin, there's a copper coin, silver coin, copper coin, silver coin, copper coin. You're going to fall asleep, and I'm not really accomplishing anything. You're going to be bored of the magic, and I'm going to be bored of the magic. And then if I put the coins away, it's kind of empty. So this trick that we're doing now has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And by the way, just for those who may ask, that's just some basic moves. You've got the coins. The first coin is in thumb palm. I come over, and I drop the silver coin to the base of my fingers. I grab that. And now I use a Krenzel move where I take my finger, put it on the thumb, push it out, grab it like that, and pull it back, come over, put it down. So I'm just repeating a steel back and a spellbound move. You can do that over and over. But again, it's boring. So my philosophy is that you should do maybe 3 or 4 changes unless your routine dictates a reason for doing more. And that's all you need to do because that's impressive enough. You don't have to go further than that. So again, we take the piece of lint, go like this, wave it, turn it into a coin. The trick seems to be over. I produced a coin. Now, while I'm doing that, I have all the misdirection to take this copper coin and put it into a clip position between the first and second finger. The next move is called a soft change because it's very, very soft. It's almost an indetectable. Show the silver coin. I just wave my hand over it, and it becomes copper. And the reason it's subtle is because you don't see the change right away. So I'm holding the coin here. Let's see if I can turn around so you guys can see this. I now turn the coin vertical. I bring my hand over, sticking this right between the pinky and the ring finger, pushing it up, grabbing this one, and I come away sliding it off, and then I turn my hand up. So they're seeing, basically I'm changing it at the edge and then I'm turning it up. So it's just like you're caressing the coin. That's what I talk about, caressing the coin. And it changes. The next move is a move of Derek Dingle's. I put my thumb on the $50 and I bring my hand over here. Under the cover of the hand, this just drops down into your fingers like Ramsey, okay? And I grab the silver coin with my fingers, then I pull it out and I rub and I make it change again. Okay, can everyone see that? So, the first change, the second change, put it here. Now the third change is pretty much standard. I bring my hand over, but I put this into thumb palm, extend my fingers, and grab the copper coin. Okay, can everyone see that? Grab that copper coin, come back, put that in the same position. So from the front, it looks like that. And you've waved it and changed it again. Now at this point, you have different options. And the way the trick evolved for me was, first I would do a standard move where I would bring my thumb over the coin, drop the copper coin, grab it from thumb palm, and pull it out. So you get this. Okay, that's nice. There's nothing wrong with that. Then I think it was John Mendoza, I'm not sure, but he did the same thing but using one finger. So it looks like he changed it with one finger. It's the exact same move, but all he did was separate his fingers. So he came over, separated them, and came off with one finger. It just really looks like a one-finger change. And that's nice, and that became very popular also in coin magic, one-finger changes. But I wanted to do more than that. I wanted to make it look like I never even touched the coin. So I came up with something called the wave change. And the wave change is this. And it looks like you're just waving your hand over the coin, but you're not touching it. And it's also pretty much the same thing. It starts in thumb palm. I usually do this as a timing motion where I show the coin, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to move your left hand at all. The right hand comes over until you get to the same position that you would have if you'd gone this way. So I come down at the wrist, come over. I'm going to do this over here. Okay, so come over. Now I drop that, and I grab this just like before, but this way I continue to bend my wrist, taking the coin out of the thumb palm, and then come over a little higher. And that's the move. So again, I showed this coin, come over, grab, continue to wave, and come back over. So from the front, that looks pretty magical. Just looks like you're waving your hand. Now, one thing that this also teaches me is to slow down your magic. I have a tendency to speed up. When I work in an exam room at the hospital, I'm seeing 30 pets a day, and I got to get them in and out in 15 minutes. So I got to talk really fast, and I got to ask them what's going on. Are you using heartworm preventative? Do you spay or neuter your pet? Are you using vaccines? Which vaccines do you need? And I got to talk like this. So when I get to do magic, I sometimes do it just like that. I talk very, very fast, and that's really not good for the magic. And also, if you're doing magic fast, and you get to this point, and I try and do this fast, and I get stuck here, all of a sudden my hands are moving fast, and then I hesitate, and that makes it look bad. But if you go slow, you lose that hesitation. And even if you do hesitate, it's not, that wasn't good, it's not seen. So going slow is very, very important. Now I take the coin, and as I said, I pretend to place it into my hand, but I do this move where I actually sit it on the second finger. We did that already. So I pretend to take that, putting it on the second finger, put this away in my pocket, make it come back from anywhere you want. Now I'm going to do a retention pass. And actually, I can't believe it's now, well, we've been going almost 2 hours, and I haven't even taught a retention pass. So here it is. You guys ready? Everyone's got a different retention pass, and they're all good. As long as the timing is right, any retention pass is good. I have no problems which one you do, as long as you're doing it properly. This one is I call it the variation retention pass, and it's a combination of a few people's retention passes, what I picked up, but essentially it's based on Al Schneider's snapback technique. He had a wonderful book, Al Schneider on Coins, which he talked about it, and it's a great move, and pretty much this is based on that. But I look at a retention pass as a 5-step action. So there are some guys like David who go right across. There are guys that come up and go down. I come from down and up. So let's say I'm doing a retention pass. I'm holding my hand usually at the level of my waist. I come up to my hand, or I'm taking it off the table. I come up to my hand, and I hold it right at the spot between the tips of my first and second finger, right at the base of the fingers, right there. Now, you don't pick up a coin by the tips of your fingers like this. You pick up a coin regularly, but as I come here, I push it to the tips of my fingers. This way, it's very, very visual. So let's just say that's step 1. Step 2 is I close my hand so you can't see the coin anymore. Step 2. Step 3 is a 2-step action. And I'm going to turn this, well, first I'll show you this way. I lever the coin up to a vertical position and I extend the second finger. That's 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Like this, okay? Now step 4 is kind of like the Mrpl1 move, where I bring in the second finger and raise my thumb, almost like a slow motion snap. And that's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I come out of the hand, and one thing that I've never taught, or I don't think I've mentioned it very often, is as you come out of the hand, you want to make sure that they can't see the coin on your finger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you come out, just turn your hand slightly so that the coin is hidden. Now it sits on your second finger, and you can thumb palm it and wave your hand over. You can classic palm it, you can finger palm it, you can go anywhere you want with it, or you can keep it there and produce it. So I now take the coin, thumb palm it. Okay, there's the coin. Put it back on the second finger. As I open this hand, I transfer it to a clip position between the thumb and the first finger. Between the first and second finger. And then I open my hand to show that little piece of dust. And I grab it, holding the coin in JW grip. And now this is a really nice position. So what I do is I grab this and I kind of straighten out the little ball that I made. That's a pretty nice position because you're seeing both hands very empty. As I put this back on somebody's sleeve, or in this case I put it on the table, I turn my hand over. I don't want them to see that coin, so I just grab the coin with my thumb and I turn my hand over this way. And I put that back, I let the coin fall into finger palm, and the trick is done. Are there any questions on that? Yes?
Can you do that retention vanish from the side?
From the side?
Oh, yeah, you're doing it from...
You mean
You need to see it better?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he just wants you to do it from the side. So maybe the folks at home may be able to see it better too.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, is that what you want? You can see it? I'll teach you the 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, and 5.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. And I always like doing this because I don't want my hand to look stagnant. So a lot of times I'll make a wave, and then I'll come back and put it back on the finger. Are there any questions on Spellbound? Well, you guys are great, and you're still awake. That's pretty good. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I do get tired sometimes. I could fall asleep anywhere. I once fell asleep at a wake. No, it's true. It's true. Actually, just last week, my friend and I went into a Starbucks. My friend ordered 25 cups of coffee to go. I said, "You don't even drink coffee. What are you doing with 25 cups of coffee?" He goes, "Well, I need it for a wake." I said, "Then don't get the decaf." Yeah, I know. And on that note, let me have somebody come up here and maybe just sit over here for me. You want to come up?
Sure.
How you doing? What's your name?
Greg.
Greg?
Greg,
Mike,
yeah.
how are you?
Good.
I want to show you my coin collection.
All right.
Very interesting. I've got some nice old coins. You may have seen me use some of these before. This is an old Barber half dollar. It's over 100 years old. It's from 1912. Isn't it nice? Nice and worn old coin. This is a old copper Victorian English penny from 1887. Got that in a coin store outside of London. This is an old real Chinese coin, not like the magician kinds. This is actually from the 17th century. I think it's from the Duck Dynasty. I'm not sure. But also very, very old. Very old and very interesting. Now, you'll notice the coins are all different metals. So this one here, that's copper. That's brass, and they're different than the silver coin, which I'm going to hold over here. I'm going to give them a little squeeze, and something very strange happens. You see the two foreign coins come over here. The silver coin comes over here. They switch places. It's very strange, I know. But it's also a little confusing because I'm closing both hands. You don't really know what's going on. So I'm going to try and simplify this a little bit, okay? So I'm going to just hold the hand over one coin, okay? I'm going to do something with these two. Open your right hand for me. This is going to look like magic, so hold it so everyone can see. As the two foreign coins change to silver, well, the two foreign coins come back to over here. And they switch places again. But it's still kind of confusing, I know, because even though they switch places, we're still using two hands, and that makes it harder to follow. So I'm going to simplify it a little bit more. So I'm going to just hold the two foreign coins in this hand. I'm going to take the half dollar and place it right on top, just like that. Can you guys see that? Okay, so now look at the situation. The silver coin's on top, foreign coins are in the hand. But if I take the silver coin and I blow, it changes into the two foreign coins, while the silver coin's over here. And they switch places again. But it's still, I know it's confusing because I'm using 3 different coins and sometimes it's hard to follow. So let's simplify things a little bit more. Let me just place the Chinese coin away, and we'll do something with just the copper and the silver coin, okay? I'm going to take one coin out of my hand. Can you tell which coin that is?
That is the silver coin.
Silver coin? Okay, I'm going to give you the silver coin to hold. Close your hand really tight around it. Turn your hand palm down. Hold it just like that. Because I'm going to touch your hand with mine just like that. And would you believe if you open your hand, you now have the copper and I now have the silver. The coins, once again, have switched places. It's wild, isn't it? But it's still kind of confusing because I'm using 2 different color coins. So let's simplify this even more. Instead of using the copper or the silver, let's just focus on one coin, the Chinese coin, which we had in the beginning of the show. Now, if the Chinese coin is here,
What's there?
what's in there but the other 2?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's extend this a little further.
All right.
Let's have some fun here. Okay, so we got 3 coins, silver, Chinese, and copper, okay? Now, the interesting thing about these coins is that they jump. I can make the silver coin jump right across like that. Now, I chose the first coin. Let me let you choose the second coin. Which one do you want to jump next, Chinese or copper?
Chinese.
You want the Chinese coin to jump next. That's going to be tough, but I'm going to do this for your entertainment pleasure. There it goes. Got it, just like that, which leaves only the copper coin to join these 2. Now, I chose the first one. You chose the second one. Let's do the third one a little different. I'm going to hold this one here, but I'm going to give you these to hold. Close your hand over them. Let me take the last one, make it go from my hand to your hand. Thank you.
All right.
All right. So this is copper, silver, brass, and it's done with 3 regular coins and using a rattle purse. You don't have to, but it helps to sell the final thing. And I like this trick because it's all sleight of hand. You don't have to get the expensive copper, silver, brass sets. And the moves are pretty, not that difficult. So, and they're very interesting new moves. So we're showing the 3 coins, 3 different coins. And the first move is a click pass that I teach. I take the first copper coin, and I hold it with my thumb and my first finger, and I show the copper coin like this, and I put it down on top of the brass coin, the Chinese coin, and I pretend to take both like that, but I'm really not. I'm actually taking this up and leaving it there, so there's nothing in my hand. So take, leave, and the coin's just sitting there. So I have this copper and the brass, and I turn my hand over a little bit. Okay? Now I pick this up. These 2 coins are in finger palm, and I put the silver coin behind them with the slide move. That slide move is very, very useful. I make my hands into a fist, and now I push the 2 foreign coins out, leaving the silver coin in finger palm. And now I do a move called the tap move, which I think we did already earlier in the routine. We did, I think, for the Tallahassee jumping coins. I turn my hand over, and I go to tap the silver coin, and I open my hand. There's nothing there, but I drop the silver coin right onto the fingers and tap it. So the foreign coins are here, the silver coin's here, and I put these down. So now I say that was kind of confusing because I had both cans closed, so let me simplify it a little bit. I'm going to hold the silver coin in this hand and close the hand over this one, and I do the Rops move, okay? Rops move. Pick these up, and now I've got my right hand, I ask him to extend his right hand. I say, this is going to happen fast, and I hold these coins kind of like between my first finger and my thumb, and my second finger's underneath, and I pretend to drop them into his hand. And what I do is I just kind of grab them with my thumb and turn my hand over so they stay in a clip position, and I drop the silver coin. So I say, this is going to happen fast. Bring my hand back, kind of bringing them into that position with the first finger and the second. And then I put my fingers on here, turn my hand over. Can you guys see that? So I hold like this, put it over, turn my hand over, drop that one onto their palm. That's pretty impressive that they all of a sudden saw too far. Now they see the silver. And now this is a kind of a real gutsy move. There's nothing in this hand, but this hand is kind of extended. Okay, it's kind of open. So I just drop that and very casually open this hand. And as I do, I just put this hand right onto the fingers. Okay, so it's on the fingertips. I leave the silver coin to take the one and then take the other one. So it's done casually. It avoids detection, and it's pretty gutsy. So again, silver coin here. Open up your hand. Bring these back. Watch as the 2 foreign becomes silver, and the silver becomes the 2 foreign. And that's the move. Are there any questions on that one? Okay, So now you say, it's still kind of confusing because we're using 3 coins. So now I open the purse, I pretend to put the copper coin in, and all I do is I pretend to dump it in like this, but I just hold it with the thumb and the first finger and do this. Okay, there's the coin. Close up, immediately put this into finger palm, grab the other 2. I don't care which one I retain, but I retain one between my thumb and my first finger, and I drop the copper coin, I drop the brass coin in whichever one is underneath. In this case, it'll be the silver. It's like a bobo switch, and I keep that here. And I have these both in my hands. I shake them so they hear 2 coins. I now pull 1 coin out, and of course it has to be the silver or the copper, whichever one you drop into your hand. The Chinese coin stays into your hand, and I show it on top of my fist like this. Okay? I usually transfer this one into classic palm to make it easier for me. I know we're using classic palm, but some of the tricks are going to be a little more difficult. I pretend to take this top coin, and as I do, I turn my hand over and I put my thumb right on top. So, like this. And I put this into someone's hand, right hand to right hand, and I have them close their hand over it so that they can't see that I've switched the coin from silver to copper. I tap their hand, revealing the copper coin. I now show the silver coin. The coins have switched places again. This goes into finger palm in the meantime. I now pick up both coins, and this is going to be a ROPS technique. I place the first coin on my palm. I place the second coin on top of that. And as I close my hand, I grab them with the thumb which snaps the top coin down, goes behind the second finger. As I close my hand, I grab them both, and I come out of my hand, and I go like this. That's my misdirection for me to put these into first a clip position and then JW grip. Okay? So instead of using the copper or the silver coin, and I'm just doing the switch down here, I change them into the brass coin. Okay? Now I turn this over as I bring this down into, by taking my thumb, holding them into finger palm, turning this over. Okay? And of course, if the Chinese coin is there, inside the purse, they hear the coins. I now, as I'm going to get it, I put these into nowhere palm, grab this, open it up, toss them out, and there are the other 2 coins. And that's the trick. Thank you. Now, if you remember, we extend the trick a little bit. How do we extend the trick? I did the same coins across that I did earlier, the Tallahassee jumping coins, but I changed the premise a little bit, and I changed one of the moves. And I wanted to show you because it becomes more interesting. So if you want to extend, that's the trick by itself. But if you want to extend this, purse is closed. You hold 3 coins in a row. You pretend to put all 3 of them in your hand, but you hold back the top silver coin, which is now against your thumb. So I just hold it back, pull it back like this, dump the other coins in your hand. Say, I'm going to make the first coin go across, I'll make the silver coin. Boom, there's the silver coin. Now I say, I made the first coin go across, you're going to choose the second coin. Which one do you want? So if he says Chinese, I leave the Chinese under the copper coin, which is where it is now. The one he chooses has to be against the fingers. So just like before, I push the top coin to the fingertips. Now again, he said Chinese, so I leave the Chinese underneath. If he said copper, I would have to turn these around, okay, to do this move. But he said Chinese, it happens to be underneath. So I close my hand, keeping the the English penny in classic palm position, make the toss, pretend to catch the coin, dropping that coin out. Now I push the third coin, the English penny, to the fingertips, and I say we've made the second coin go across. Now, I chose the first, you chose the second. Now, and of course I come over here now and I tap and say we're going to have to do the third coin, but we're going to do it a little differently. So now I add that to it just like we did with Tallahassee jumping coins. Now, these go into the clip position. I say, I did the first, you did the second. I take this coin, and I load it in just like I did in the Tallahassee jumping coins into that hole. I'm going to hold this one here. I'm going to give you these to hold. And he takes all the coins, and I make the second one go, and then it vanishes. And now you've done another part of this trick, but it extends the routine, and it's also very, very entertaining. Are there any questions on that? Great. You guys are fantastic. Thank you. And you're still awake, which is even better. Okay. So let's see. Let me show you something kind of interesting. Hey, I know what I'll do. You guys want to see a coin fly? Want to see a coin fly? All right. I don't usually do this, but for you guys, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a coin fly. Here we go. Ta-da! I know, it's a lame joke, but these coins really can fly, it's just that they fly by magic. And to fly by magic, I just kind of give them a toss and catch the first one over here. And that first coin goes across. Now the coin started here, and it ended up here, but you couldn't see it travel because it went by magic. But if you listen very carefully, even if you can't see it go, you could hear it arrive as the second coin goes up and got it right there. And that second coin goes across. Now I can't do it any slower, because if I did it slower, it wouldn't look very magical. If I take that coin and toss it into my hand, I can catch it, but that doesn't look magical at all. So I'm going to make the last coin fly with a little style and pizzazz, because I'm going to throw it up in the air invisibly, but I'm going to catch it, ready for this, behind my back. So I'm going to take the last coin, toss it up in the air, and got it right there. And yes, that's 1, 2, 3, and that's the retro fly. Thank you. So I don't usually do 3-fly, but I do this routine. This is not like a typical 3-fly, and the reason is for several. Number one, I think that when people do fingertip coins across, and just to give you a little history, Jonathan Townsend came up with a routine at the fingertips using quarters, but he was holding his hands down here. Chris Kenner saw that, and he thought to do it with dollars because it was more visible for his audiences, and he did it up at the fingertips. Gary Kurtz independently came up with a routine that used the same idea of fingertip transfer, and David Roth found a poster of Downs from way back in the early 1900s where he's showing like a coin before the transfer and after, and it looks like he was doing the fingertip coins across as well. So some of the great ideas keep getting recycled. But anyway, I didn't like the routine because I felt that with the fingertip, like the coin was here, all of a sudden it was there, and then all of a sudden the next one was there, and then all of a sudden it came back, and you kind of was bopping back and forth, and I feel that it missed the magical moment. So I came up with a routine, which I like the idea of the display at the fingertips, but I also like the idea of the magical moment. And for me, the magical moment is the clink of the coins. When that coin clinks, that signals the arrival. So I have, whoosh, it's going, got there, and it got there. To me, that's very, very important. I don't like it's here, oh, look, it's there. I mean, that's confusing, especially when you make the coin go backwards. And I didn't like some of the moves that people do, and so I tried to change the way the routine is done. I also don't like spending, $200+ on gimmick coins. That's just my personal preference. I feel if I can do it with regular coins, then I don't have to spend the money on that. So this is a trick I can do with dollars, even though I have very, very small hands, and I'm just using an extra coin. So the extra coin I have in my pocket, I'm going to keep this in finger palm in the left hand. And I show the 3 coins in a line with the bottom coin against the thumb, the top coin against the first finger, like this. Okay? And I make a joke. You want to see a coin fly? The reason I do this joke is not only to get into position, but it also helps to prove that there are only 3 coins. I pretend to take the bottom coin, but under the cover of the fingers, I just take the 3rd finger and bring that coin into my hand, just like this. Let's see if I can do it from the other side. Just like this. Turn my hand down, it makes it easier, and I hold it into classic palm position. It's like a rune klon move. So that's what I'm doing. Now, at the same time, I'm pretending to grab the coin, doing the move, and I'm tossing this coin up into the air. Ta-da! I know it's a lame joke, and it really is a lame joke. That's not the point of the joke, is just to get to the position. Then I drop these coins on my hand, and they see that there are only 3 coins. I then spread them out while the other coin goes into finger palm in the right hand. I now do a move which is a down-up movement. On down, I just let the bottom coin, the one that's held against the fingers here, drop into finger palm, and I make a motion like this. Okay? So the first coin goes up, and I catch it, and the first coin goes across. Now I use the tap load again, a move that we've already used in a couple of routines. I put this into finger palm. I show 2 coins here, and I go to tap the coin in the other hand, but it's in finger palm. So I allow this finger palm coin to drop onto my palm. They can't see that. Tap that. Then I come away. They see only 2 coins here, and I turn my hand over, and I don't drop the coin. That's not good. It's hard to do things slow. Show the 2 coins here, tap here, come away, and as my hand comes down, this goes into a classic palm-like position, and I show this coin here. Okay? So the coin started here, ended up here, but you couldn't see it travel. But if you listen very carefully, even though you can't see it go, you can hear it arrive. Same idea. I drop the bottom coin to finger palm, make a toss, catch it by letting that one drop on top of the other one, and the second coin comes across. Now, you may have seen guys who do this routine where they make the next coin go across visibly and then it comes back. I think that just kind of shows you're using an extra coin. I don't like that move. even if it's done well, I think that intuitively something's not right. There's a discrepancy there. So I toss this. I say, that's not going to look very good. I pull them back into my hand so the bottom coin is against classic palm position. I drop 2 of the coins to my fingertips, and I pretend to take one of the coins, but I exchange it for this one. So the move is, you're going to see it if it's not very magical. Toss it, catch, show, drop these coins, and produce this one. So I'm just taking it back. So I eliminate the tossing it over and it's there back again. Okay? Now, I can make this go over by just making the move. Same thing, I just put it against the fingertips and toss up in the air. I think Curtis Cam did that also, like this. And then I can make this one drop onto the other ones, but I want to get rid of the extra coin. So I say I'm going to catch it behind my back. So I do this, come over, my hand drops to waist level, I turn around. While they're looking here, what happens over here is I just drop it into my pocket, just like that. When I turn back, show the 3 coins, and my hands are empty except for the 3 coins. This nice little pocket ditch is a really nice way to get rid of the extra coin. You don't have to do that. I mean, you can make the last coin go over and, 3 coins, and then do, retain one and drop the other ones onto your hand. And you can do that, but, it's nicer to have your hands clean. I think that's always a better way to end. So, again, up, come around, watch here. This hand goes behind, goes into the pocket, drops, click, and there it goes. 3 coins. And that's the retro fly. Thank you. Oh boy, we need to get some energy here. All righty. So who wants to see another one? Yeah. Okay. I paid you well. All right. So I'm going to do a trick with some coin. I forgot the coins. All right. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. This is a magic lecture. Don't worry. I don't need the coins. I could actually wish for some coins. No, I can. To wish for some coins, I'm just going to grab a little piece of dust in the air. If I take that piece of dust and I rub on it and I wish hard enough, I get a solid silver coin, just like that. Not bad, right? Let me do that again. Take another little piece of dust, and if I rub it and I wish hard enough, I get a second solid silver coin. That's twice. Let me do it again. Let me take a little piece of dust from over here, and if I rub it and I wish hard enough, I get a third solid silver coin. 3 wishes, 3 coins. Not bad for a day's work, right? Right? Yeah. But what if I didn't wish hard enough? If I didn't wish hard enough, one of those wishes might not have come true, leaving me with only 2. $2.50. They're solid and real. But what if I didn't wish hard enough? If I didn't wish hard enough, then the trick might be done, because instead of 2, I'd be left with 1. One last $half. It's solid and real. But what if I didn't wish hard enough? The trick might really be done, because instead of 1, I'd be left with none. But wait a minute. We're magicians. We shouldn't have to wish. We should be able to produce 1 coin right from my elbow. Produce the second coin from my other elbow. And in fact, produce one right from the air, just like that. You could also drop it on the floor. But magicians have this terrible propensity that every time we make things appear, we make them vanish. Which is why I should have had it in the purse. Oh, wait a minute. There they are. Now we can begin. Thank you. So this is the second of 3 coin productions that I want to show you. And I like this one. It's very difficult, but it's very elusive. And it uses something called the one behind principle from Mike Gallo, which allows us to get some very, very pretty displays. Now, I'm doing this with 3 coins, but I'm going to actually show you how I do it with 2 coins the whole time. 1 coin is really just there for the end. So I'm using a rattle purse, and I have this coin here. And you don't need this, by the way. I'm just going to show you how I did this, and then I'm going to show you how I vary it. This is kind of like my go-to trick if I'm in the hospital and I have to produce some coins. I have 2 coins in my pocket. I could do this whole routine with just 2 coins. But I start out, these are in Classic Palm. Sorry, I did have to do a couple of tricks with Classic Palm. How do you get into Classic Palm? Let's talk about that for a minute. Good way is you hold the coins with your thumb and your second finger, put your first and third finger on them, so you're holding them like, equally distant between them. Put your second finger under the coins, let go here. So now they're in this position. Roll them over, push them into Classic Palm, boom, done. So you do this in your pocket. And by the way, people are always worried about Classic Palm. Here's a little hint I don't always hear people talk about. When people do Classic Palm, their hands sometimes look like claws. And the reason is because they're using the pinky inappropriately. You're using your thumb and the fatty part of your thumb to push down on the coins. The coin should be going into a ridge in your hand. Your pinky has nothing to do with that. And that's the idea of a good classic palm. Also, to get a good classic palm, use coins that are very, very sharply milled. That allows them to stick. I can do it with the worn coins, but it's a lot easier for me to use it with this, and that's why I do this trick with regular coins. I use clad half dollars too. I'm not ashamed to use that. You don't always have to use silver, but if you have milled coins, it makes your classic palm a lot easier. Okay, so I got one here, and I take the purse out, and I show that the purse is empty. Again, this part is really for this routine, but I'm going to show you how you can get away without using this at all. I close this, and I put everything, including the coin underneath, on the table. If it makes a little noise, no problem. You're putting the purse on the table. So now the routine really begins. Okay. And I really like this routine because it's very, very interesting. So I reach over here for a little piece of dust. As I do that, I allow one coin to drop to the tips of your fingers. It's not easy, but you can practice dropping them one at a time just by releasing the muscle subtly. And so I grab the piece of dust, and I then put this into a clip position between the first and second finger with the thumb, and I pretend to take the piece of dust, leaving that in my hand. So now I've transferred one of these coins to the other hand, okay? So reach here, let it drop down. You could also let it drop down by grabbing it with the third finger, letting it drop, and as I come over here, put it into that clip position. It's not really clipped, it's almost like an edge grip-like position. You're just kind of sticking it between the first and second finger. I take the piece of dust, dropping the coin there. I now come down with my hand like this, allowing that to drop the finger palm, roll my fingers in, like this, and then push this to my fingertips and rotate it around. So take the piece of dust, and there's the first coin. Now I do my fingertip shuttle pass, which you've already talked about. Put your finger here, turn your hand over, putting your thumb to the tip of that, turn your hand over, come away, like this, okay? So you can't see that coin, put my thumb on top, come away, and then just let this drop back to my hand. A little different than the turnover that we did with the fingertip shuttle pass before. There's the first coin, and there it is. Same thing here, piece of dust, roll. There's the second coin. Show two coins now. This is a beautiful display. Two coins, because all you got is two coins. I'm going to use now the Mrpl1 click pass, where I take this and I smack it against the other coin. But look at the hand. The hand almost looks like the same pointing position for the Mrpl1 move. That snaps down, and as I close my hand, under the cover, I grab that coin with the thumb, and I got a little leverage because it's on top of this other coin. So snap it down, close my hand, bring it back up, bring it into my hand, just like the Mrpl1 move. That's two. That's the Mrpl1 click pass. Do it again, the third coin. Roll it between your fingers, toss it into your hand. 3 wishes, 3 coins, not bad for a day's work. You saw 3 coins now. But what if I didn't wish hard enough? If I didn't wish hard enough, one of those wishes might not come true, leaving me with only 2. 2 half dollars. Now we're going to do another type of click pass. They're solid and real. What I've done is I've actually only tossed one of the coins using what I call the Rubinstein click pass. You're showing 2 coins, the thumb, second and third finger. I push this over to my first finger like that. It's a display. Now it's an up-down motion, up-down. On up, I bring the first finger and the thumb above, and on down, I drop it against that and let it fall onto my hand. This sticks against the fingers because you have a ball there. The balls of your fingers kind of help like a platform. So, like this. In the front, 2 half dollars. They're solid and real. It looks like you're really dropping. This trick is one of the more difficult tricks. I can't do everything easy. There's some hardcore guys out there. So, but it's an easy click pass. And I think that this click pass is very useful for your own magic, even if you take pieces from here. So I go solid and real. But what if I didn't wish hard enough? And the trick might be done, because instead of 2, then I'll be left with 1. Fingertip shuttle pass now. Come over here. There's the coin. Turn it. Grab this. Turn it. Okay? Now, this is a changeover palm. I call it the spellbound changeover palm. This coin's still at the fingertips. Now, this is going to be a little difficult because there's a lot of things that happen all at once. I take this coin, one coin, turn my hand over. This hand extends to take that, and I take it like this. This coin, though, is under my hand. And I grab this coin with the thumb and one of my fingers that are extended. So I just grab the coin, and now I come away. What I used to do is I used to show this for a spellbound move. So now you just do this. You come over here, grab the coin. As I come away, I put it into Mrpl1's position. Okay? 1 half dollar. It's solid and real. And this goes into classic palm as I do that. 1 half dollar. Solid, and as I put this into classic palm, I go, it's solid and real. And then as I do this, I do the Mrpl1's move. Solid and real. transfer it to thumb palm. So I got classic palm and thumb palm. But what if I didn't wish hard enough? And the trick might be done because instead of one, I'd be left with none. So now I've got the 2 coins here. Now that's a kind of a hard sequence to follow, so I'm just going to do it again because I know you guys can review when you watch the DVD or watch the download, but I think it's still something that bears repetition. Spread the coins out, $2.50. They're solid and real. But what if I didn't wish hard enough? And the trick might be done because instead of 2, I'd be left with 1. Here we go. Change over palm, classic palm, Mrpl move, thumb palm, done. Okay? It's tough. That's probably the toughest thing that I'm doing in this lecture. I now produce the first coin from here, fingertip shuttle pass, produce the second coin from here, click them together, take them both out of your hand, just like the double turnover click pass that we did a long time ago. 2 here, hit there, pick them up both with the thumb, close his hand, push one out to the center, let that one go to finger palm. Okay? Now I drop this, as I pretend to catch the coin, I drop it onto the other one, creating a clink. That's like Milton Cord's drop vanish, but uses a click pass. Okay? Now, this is actually a cool thing, because I make the coins then vanish. I say, but we have a terrible propensity every time we make things appear, we want to make them vanish. And I really like this vanish because it's showing both hands empty. I rub my hand like this, I come over and I do this. As I'm doing this, these coins go into nowhere palm, but I'm doing it under this act, so you really don't see it. The big motion hides the little motion. And now I open both hands, this hand with the coins in nowhere palm and this hand empty. I love this vanish because it looks like a complete vanish, okay? So snap here, produce the last coin. I think you got 2 here. Drop this on top of the other one. Come over here. I bring my hands together, turn this into nowhere palm. Okay, and then I come over. One hand's open, the other hand's partially open, but it doesn't matter because they just see both hands. It's hard to focus on both areas. Now, in this case, I pick up the purse with the coin underneath, shake it, rattle purse. Oh, there's coins inside. I grab, of course, the one on the bottom and hold it in my hand. Take the purse, use my same load where the coins are nowhere palm, and I toss them onto the other one, and I got 3 coins here. Okay, so that's how you do it with producing 3 coins. As I said, you don't even need the purse. You don't need the extra coin. So you do the whole routine, and at the end, you make them vanish. Okay, they're gone. I now say, go in my pocket, pretend to take them. I wish I had them in my pocket. And you do the same counting thing that we did from Tallahassee jumping coins, and you get away with it because you got 3 coins. Put them away, or do whatever you want with it. So that way you can get away with 2. You can use a regular purse. Do the same thing to start. The coins aren't there. And at the end, you make them vanish. Open the purse. Toss 2 out. Do the same move with the other hand. And now you got the 3, and you could do it that way too. So you have a lot of things that you could do with this trip, which is called triple play. Are there any questions? I know this was a really tough one, but I can't do everything easy. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions on it? Wow. Okay, thank you. And there's more. There's definitely more. There's definitely more.
I don't want to throw you off, but I got somebody asking. I don't want to throw you off, and I don't want to jump ahead.
No problem.
Somebody asking about the 3 times coin to card.
Yeah. That's my opener, and I'm going to close with it.
All right.
Figure that one out. Probably the person wants to go to sleep. We'll get there, I promise. I used to go to a place upstate New York. It's a bar called Kilcoyne's Bar and Grill. Really, not a joke there, Kilcoyne's. But they used to make this really cool thing. They used to put a piece of copper between 2 silver pieces of bread. But I always like to use pumpernickel. That's a Rubenstein quickie. Thank you.
Wow.
Okay. So,
hey, before you explain that, why don't you do that for us again? Can you do that for us? That was pretty.
Can I do that again? I can. Okay, so you show 3 coins, copper, silver, copper, little wave, and I get triple change. Thank you. Okay. So, how you doing this? Using 4 coins, 2 copper and 2 silver. One move gets you to get a triple change, which is really, really nice. So you hold this coin this is the copper coin in this case, in a clip position between the first and second finger. These coins are spread out, so you've got the silver coin on top under your thumb, then the copper, then the other coin on the bottom. Okay? Now, just like that subtle soft change that we did for Spellbound, you're going to do a one-move change where you're going to put these down like this. You're going to caress the coins. When you do that, what you're going to do, you show them up like this, you come down, you're going to put the copper coin on top and grab the bottom coin clipped against your other fingers and come away and show. Just add one, take one away. So let's just do it. Let's see if I can show it so it looks really, really, this may be a nice position to show. Leave one there, take one out, show it. How does that look? Can you see it? Is that good? Great. Okay, it's just a very nice routine. I like this too. And I also like the fact that it talks about food because, you know, I love food jokes. I love food routines. My cat loves food too. One day I was eating fries and he jumped on the table and all of a sudden I had catsup on my fries. No. It's never too late for shtick. Actually, my cat, my cat, you know, he's an outdoor cat, so I don't always feed him in the house. He goes out to eat a lot. And once he went to a French restaurant. No, he did. And he said to the waiter, I'd like to have a chocolate mouse. And the waiter said, I think you want the mousse. And the cat goes, I'm a freaking cat. How much do you think I could eat? But anyway, no, actually, you know, my same cat, actually, he ate a wristwatch. I mean, I had to operate him. Talk about bad timing just before coming here. He ate the wristwatch. And I got it out, but I realized he was going to be infested with ticks for the rest of his life. It's late, but you're still getting shtick, you know. Okay, so what can we do here? What can we do here? I know. I just need someone to come over, sit in the hot seat for me. Who wants to do that?
I'm closest.
Great. Now, I don't know how you can see this, but I've got two coins here. I've got a silver coin and a copper coin. Which coin do you want me to use?
Copper.
Okay, so I'm going to hold the copper here. Open your right hand. I'm going to give you the silver coin. Close your hand really tight around it. Turn the palm down. Oh, it's late. It's late. It's late. Give me that coin. We're going to do this all over again. Open your hand. We're going to do this all over again because if it doesn't look right, it's not going to look right. Okay, two coins, copper and silver. Which one do you want me to use? You said?
Copper.
Copper. We're going to use the copper. I'm going to give you the other one to hold. Close your hand really tight around the coin. Close it really tight. Turn the palm down. And I'm going to do something with the silver coin, with the copper coin. I'm going to take the copper coin, hold your silver coin really tight, and just go like this. Boom. And now I have the silver, and if you open your hand, you now have the copper. Just like that. Thank you. See, the cool thing, it's a magic lecture, and when they do this over, they can edit that part out. So this actually gives me an opportunity to talk about something called stealth palm, which is really a cool concealment that allows you to hide extra coins in your hand while your hands are palm up. So let's talk about stealth palm for a minute. So you have the coin sitting on your fingertip right here, the second fingertip. You can turn it over like this, and you grab it with your pinky. And then you bring your pinky down a little bit. So the coin is sitting like that. However, from the front, it looks like your hand is empty. Okay, you can come down pretty far, and it looks like, come sit in the seat here.
It's kind of like that JW. Or the other one.
Now I'm going to ask you a question. Can you see the coin in my hand?
No,
I'm going to bring my hand down. Can you see the coin in the hand?
No.
You tell me when you can see the coin.
I can't see it. Now I can see it.
Look how far down my hand is. And that's not natural. My hand's natural to be up here. So
Right.
For somebody sitting down, this is a very elusive concealment. So you've got the coin there, and you got the other one on your fingertip. Okay, that's the silver coin there. Copper coin is in stealth palm. Now, the reason we call it stealth palm is because the cooler the name, the more people want to do something. I mean, when you think about it, what are the popular names now? You got jet, you got ninja, and you got stealth. You know, so stealth palm is a really cool concealment. And I've done this for a long time, and this is my favorite application. And you show the coins like this. So now they see two coins only in your palm open hands, right? And by the way, the only bad angle is to the left. So, you know, if I'm like this, this is not going to look very magical. But, you know, from here or here, it looks very open. So now he says copper. I don't care which one he says, copper or silver. If he says silver, I say, that's fine. I'm going to use the silver. I'll hold the copper. Now what I do is, this is the only really hard part of the trick. I put this one into classic palm, and I pop this one out of stealth palm. So I'm going to do this for you here. So I say, give me your right hand. That's my misdirection for me to put this into classic palm. And I just take the other coin and I put it to my fingers, okay? Now he takes this coin and I put it my fingers over so he can't see it. He closes his hand and I have him hold it there. This hand comes back, and as I do that, I put this back into stealth palm. And I take this coin and I just put it here. Now my hands look empty. I just have one copper coin here. He's sure there's one copper coin. He's got the silver coin. I now pretend to toss the copper coin into my other hand, but I hold it with my thumb and I toss the silver coin. And as I come here, my hand comes back and I put that coin into stealth palm. Then I toss, and look at that. That's just a nice display. And then when I turn my hand over, you got a window here, so I close the window, turn my hand over, and I just give him that, so he sees only 2 coins in the hand. Any questions? Any comments? Any dirty jokes? Yes?
Can I get you to put your hands, so the fingers are pointing towards the camera when you're doing the stealth palm?
Okay, like this?
Yeah.
Okay, now you can do it without your thumb. Hold it like that. Or you can use your thumb to help you. So now, if I'm doing the switch, okay, I have the coins like this. I hold this here, drop the stealth palm coin. This goes down into stealth palm, and I come back over here. And there's the coin. That's a really nice concealment. Now, you have to be careful not to do that, because that'll ruin the trick. And don't drop the coin like I did, because that'll look really bad. You know, so, but you do want to do it that way. And when, I guess, you know, sometimes when your fingers get sticky when you're performing for so long under the lights, it's sometimes harder to manipulate the coins. Usually your hands aren't going to be this sticky. But we're going to make do anyway. I don't know if I told you, you know, I'm from New York, but I'm not just from New York, I'm from the Bronx, the part that's still standing. That's right. And it's a tough neighborhood. It's a tough neighborhood. I mean, even last week, 2 peanuts were walking down the street. One was assaulted. That's just nuts. I know. But I do have a tough neighborhood. I do have a tough neighborhood. And in fact, you know, you walk down the street and you see those guys playing like 3-card monte and stuff. So I saw a guy, and he had a little stand like this. And let's see if I can do this for you. And he had 4 coins on his stand. And he had, let's use 2 cards. And I said, what is that new game? Is that 3-card monte? And he goes, no, this is a game called 2-coin monte. I said, but you got 4 coins on the table. He goes, yeah, I know. But we really only need 2 of them. So I'm going to cover the first one with the ace of spades and the second one with the ace of hearts. We're going to just play with these 2, and you just have to tell me where you think they are to win. And I said, well, they're there. Do I win? He said, no, you don't get me. I said, I don't want you. He said, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the coins into my hand, and you just have to tell me for $10 where you think it is. But I just want you to know there's only 1 coin here, and I'm telling you that to be fair. I said, okay. So he takes the first coin, and he holds it in the hand, and he says, for $10, where do you think it is? I said, it's in your hand. He said, no. You see, when you weren't watching, I snuck it under the card, and there it is. So I paid him the $10, and I said, I want to play again. I said, sure. So he said, there's 1 more coin here, and he took the coin, and he grabbed it, and he said, for $10, where do you think it is? I said, it's in your hand. He said, no. You see, you weren't watching, but I snuck it under the card right there. I said, I want to play again. He goes, well, I got 1 more coin, and it's a $20 coin. So if you want to play, we've got to use the $20 coin. And I said, okay, well, don't do anything. It's in your hand for $20, and I'm also going to bet on the card. He says, well, you lost here, but you also lost here, because you see the coins never really left their position. So I paid him, walked away, and I never saw him again. Thank you. So we've come to the matrix part of the routine. And for that guy who's still waiting, we're getting there. I promise you, we're getting there. But this is kind of cool. This is a 2-card reverse matrix. And I like it because I like the story. I mean, I like doing matrix routines, but the story really sells this for me. So let's talk about it. This is not that easy, but it's also very nice to do. So you show the 4 coins and the 2 cards. I talk about covering this one with the ace of hearts, and as I cover it, I'm going to steal it with my second and third fingers like this, okay? But to hide that, I'm going to point over here. This is an idea of Tony Mantovani of Italy. So I cover this one, and I touch this one, so they're looking up here, and that helps to misdirect this steal, okay, from under the card. So I'm just using it with the 2 fingers.
Can you do that close-up shot without the card?
Yes. And I'm just clipping it. And you got to use a soft surface for these matrix routines. So I come over, I'm going to expose it, okay, like that. As I cover this one, I now pick this one up, and as I do, this coin just gets put into the hand, and I do like a Roth-type shuttle pass, where I have this in finger palm, and I go like this, and I pretend to take it, and I clip here, okay? So I say, okay, you just have to bet on these coins. Then I make the joke, you know, do I win? No. And then he explains to me that he has to put the coin into his hand, but then he goes to show me this one, and I've got the finger palm coin here in my left hand. I pick this up, covering the coin with the card, and then putting it down so the coin comes over here on this side. Okay, there it is. We've already learned a retention pass. So I do a retention pass, come down to the side, so 5-step action. Come down here, where do you think it is? No, it's not in the hand. And I just lift this up and I put it right on top of the coin. Okay? And I talk about how I had to pay him. Now I transfer both the card and the coin to my other hand, and I cover here with the coin sitting right over there. I now do another retention pass with the next coin. But what I do is, as I come down, I kind of flip it so it sits in what I call a semi-back palm position and leave my hand here so they can't see it. Make the coin vanish, lift up here, and there's the coin. Now, I got to get this coin back under the card. And I got to hide stealing this coin, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a double action. So this hand, with the coin on the bottom, comes up. I grab the card with my thumb and my first finger, and I leave the coin on the table as I pick up. Okay, so I come over here, drop it, pick that up. But at the same time, okay, I'm stealing this one out, clipping it like that. So there's one more coin. This is a $20 coin. I'm doing it at the same time. I now put that one into my hand. I turn the card over, push this on here, hold it, and I kind of flip this up like a flying shuttle pass. One more coin, put that down, and I do the ROPS move, putting it into a semi-back palm position at the end. ROPS, semi-back palm, come down. Now I've got everything loaded except for 2 coins here. Make the coin vanish here. I then scoop up, I know the coin's here, so I scoop the card away, grabbing the bottom coin. And as I come away to pick this up, this hand comes back down, drops the coin there as I reveal all 4 coins. Thank you. Thank you. Getting to the end, but as I said, you guys are magicians and you've been very patient, but one time somebody said that they wanted me to do this trick again because they weren't watching very carefully. So I said to myself, self, if they're not watching very carefully, then that means I'm not doing a very good job as a magician. So I thought that from that point on I would test my audiences. So I'm going to give you guys an observation test. But because you're magicians, I'm going to give you a magic observation test. Because in magic, things aren't always as they seem. So I've got here 4 coins. They're all different. Let's take a look at them. That's a silver $50. That's an old copper English penny. This is an old Chinese coin. This is a gold token from the Trump Taj Mahal. And I've got 4 playing cards. Now you can see the coins so you know where they are, but because of our astute observation, even if I were to cover them with playing cards, we should still know where they are. So you see the $50, so you know it's there, but even if I were to cover that with a playing card, you should still know that under there is the $50. Here you see the English penny, but even if I were to cover that, you may not be able to see it, but you should intuit that the English penny is there. Here's the Chinese, and there's the gold token, but even if I cover the Chinese coin, you know that it still should be there, and even if I cover the gold token, you should know that the gold coin is there. So what's over here? You could answer.
The silver.
Silver? What do you think's over here then?
Copper.
What do you think's over here?
Trump Tower.
Chinese. Gold token. Okay. But now, as I said, in magic, things aren't always as they seem, because if I go like this, it seems like the $50 leaves its spot. It reappears right over there, almost as if it walked across the stage. That's right. That's the first coin. And remember what was over here? I'll ask you again. Copper coin. Okay. Watch as I go like this. It's late, I know, but I'm going to keep you guys awake. The English penny leaves its position, reappearing right over here, almost as if it walks across the table, reappearing right over there. That's twice I made it go. You remember what was over here, by the way? I have to look myself. Okay, so it's the Chinese coin. Chinese coin's here. I'm going to take the Chinese coin, hold it in my hand, but watch very carefully as I make the Chinese coin vanish, reappear right by the gold. Oh, geez, there's only 1 coin there. That's because this is magic, and magic is nothing more than an illusion. And since it's an illusion, nothing ever happened, because over here, you see I have the $50. Here I have the English penny. Here I have the Chinese coin, where they've been all along. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We're getting to that trick, but we're going to explain this first. So I really like this reverse matrix, and again, it has a little story, and it's interesting, and we're using 4 different coins. I used to do this trick with a penny, nickel, diamond, quarter, and 4 business cards. So now we're going to do it with bigger coins, because it's easier to see and it plays bigger. You do need a soft surface for this, but I think the effect justifies it. So we're going to cover the coins with the 4 cards. The first one's going to be, as I cover, I'm going to clip it with the second and third finger, just like this, okay? Just like that. under the cover. You can't see it. Now you do it slowly. And there's the coin. Okay? I'm going to clip this one between the first and second fingers as I cover. First and second finger. So now I've got 2 coins there, and they don't really talk because they're kind of far apart. Now I've got these 2 coins here. I go to take the third card, and I grab the copper coin, and I just put it right on my fingers as I take the card and put it here. As I do that, I bring this hand down to the table, and I use the table to help me, and I just get that under the card. And I move this as a little bit of misdirection, and then I take the card and I cover. So I've got the English penny over here. Now, I used a classic palm, but to try to make this easy for everybody, you can do this with just thumb palm. So you thumb palm the English penny as I make a wave like this. And now, I put it back onto the fingertips. I make the wave, and the first coin vanishes. This is called the no pickup move, as opposed to the pickup move, which was popularized by Al Schneider and later Derek Dingle. And I come over here and I pick this one up, and the magic has already happened. The coin has gone across. I point here. The coin's still at the fingertip, and I push this over to the side, showing that the coin's come across. I now push the top card over so it sits on the English penny, and I put that there, put it down, just like that. So now I'm really set. So I show my hands empty, make a motion like this, snap. The next coin goes, reappears over here, and now I do a double steal. I make sure that the coins, you see that the coins travel this path, move the coin over here. As I go to cover, I now bring my hand over and I drop it on top of the $half and I clip it with the second and third finger. The other hand, as I'm doing that, I grab this coin like this and pull this coin back. So together, I show this here, come over, there's one, the others drop there. Now I point here, bringing this one into the hand. I pick this up, transferring that underneath. You can actually just put it into finger palm. It's right there. Turn the card over, pick up this coin, pretend to place it into your hand, but grab it with your thumb, pull back. Can everyone see that? Put this down, make the motion, make the coin vanish, lift this one up, act surprised, put this over the $half, point here. Now I do another move which I actually put into my first book back in 1982. I get this under there by sliding this coin over. I put my hand here as a stop, drop the coin, turn that over. Duplicate the same thing, drop it over, turn the card over, come over here, turn that over, and then just leave that there for a nice display. Thank you. All right, it's getting late. We've been going for over 2.5 hours, and we still got 10 more to do. Only kidding, only kidding. I think I would die if I had to do 10 more. And trust me, watching Penguin Live is much better than Penguin Dead. So I am going to do a trick. I said I would close with my opener.
Yes.
So that's what I'm going to do. Let me have somebody just come over here and sit in the hot seat again. Who can we use? How you doing? I want to show you my business card. That's my business card. It says I'm a veterinarian. Made my mother very proud. I actually wanted to be a geologist, but I realized that that was rocket science, so I became a veterinarian. But it was all because of my mom. No, my mom did everything for me. I mean, she was very disciplined. She made me sure I was studying. One day she thought I was studying, and she came into the bedroom. She saw me with my textbooks on the left, my coins on the right, and she said, "Mike, you put down those textbooks and you start practicing those card tricks." That's right, she did. But fortunately, I was able to do both. And I'm going to actually do an effect using a $half and my business card to do an amazing effect. So what I'd like to do actually is I have here some stickers. And I'm going to put a sticker on the face of this coin. I know you're kind of far, but why don't you just put some sort of mark right on that sticker. Okay, looks like a little home plate or something. I'm gonna actually sign the other side with a sticker. Just like this. And I'm going to put an X. X marks the spot. Actually, that's how I made my mark in the business. Now, actually, this identifies me as one of the X-Men. That's right. I am one of the X-Men, as opposed to the Y-Men, who are those guys that just do card tricks. I mean, why, man? Why? You can do coins. But I actually am one of the X-Men, which means, of course, that I have powers far beyond those of mere mortal men. That's right. No, I don't turn into a blue creature. I don't grow metal spikes out of my fingers. I don't throw fire, float in the air, or vanish in a puff of smoke. No, my powers are far better than that. I have the magical and unique ability to sneak this coin under my card, just like that. I know, right? It's cool. But of course, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to use my X-Men powers. So let me give you a demonstration. Let me take the coin. Just going to give it a little squeeze, just like this. And just like that, that coin vanishes. And it reappears, just like this, right under the coin. Now that's my mark, and that's your mark right there, right? Thank you. Thank you. It's a gift. It's a gift. But wait, you guys, I don't know if it's because it's late, but you just don't sound so enthusiastic. I'm not supposed to do these things twice, but I think I'm going to have to for your entertainment pleasure. Okay, that's okay, don't worry. So I'm going to take the coin, little wave, just like this. The coin melts from my hand, and it reappears, just like that. There's my mark. If you take a look, I think that's your mark right there, right? Thank you. Thank you. Well, that's better. That's better. But it's not what I wanted for the last trick of the night. I mean, you know, we got to get some enthusiasm. So I'll tell you what. It's been 2 times that I made this coin go from my hand to the card. But I will do this one more time just for you. Okay, let me warm up for this. I just had a stretch. That had nothing to do with the trick. But I'm going to take the last coin, watch it go from my hand right under the card. Go ahead, you take a look, you turn it over. And turn over the sticker. Is that the coin you signed?
Yes.
So I'll tell you what. I am going to take the sticker, and I'm going to take it off the coin, put it on the card, and I'm going to take my sticker and put it on there, and I'm going to give that to you as an extraordinary memento of a magical interlude. Thank you very much. Thank you. That's what I want to hear. Yeah! 2.5 hours of coin magic, and you're still awake. That's fantastic, because after this, I was going to have to bring out the sponge bunnies. Okay, come here, sit down. Why not sit and see the whole thing? So let's talk about this. I've done this trick for many, many years. The trick was on knockout coin magic. It was called 3 times coin to card. And it's a great routine, the way it was constructed, and it wasn't difficult to do. The problem was it had to be done on a soft surface. I happen to have the soft surface here because we just did the matrix routines, but it could be done anywhere on a table. So if you're doing walk around, you know, you got a hard table or a bar, you know, you should be able to do this trick anywhere. And I couldn't do it the way it was. So I thought about how I can do it, and I came up with this routine, and I like it better. It's also entertaining. You know, you got the X-Men stuff that's topical. I think there's a new X-Men movie coming out. So you got 2 coins, you got to have your business card, and I've got some stickers. And we'll just go through the whole thing again for people. I like the business card holder. You don't really need it, but I have the business card holder because it holds everything in place, and I have a rubber band around it. And the rubber band also holds a duplicate coin. Now, this duplicate coin has an X on the tail side. I have some wax paper on the other side, and that's just to help hide some noise. You don't really need it, but I thought it made it easier. So I put this under this, and this way I can carry it in my pocket. If it's too loose, you can get another rubber band on it. It doesn't matter. So, and all you really need is an extra coin, you know, the pen, and some stickers. The stickers are in there. So I take this out, take this off, take out my business card, and I gave it to him to look at it. At that point, I put this down, and I've got the finger-palmed duplicate coin in my hand. And he's looking at that, and I make jokes about it. You can say whatever you want. I take out the coin, take this back. Now, this is what you do when it's on a hard table. Okay, I say we're going to try and experiment with the coin and the card. I now slide the coin down towards the bottom end of the card, and I put them down at the table at the same time so that they don't hear noise, and that's why this trick can be done on any surface, because you're going to time everything. I take the sticker off. He puts a mark on it. Just quickly, just do that for the audience. Okay? And I will put the same X that I did before. Okay? And now we talk about how I can sneak this under the card. So now I got my coin here, and I just sneak this under with the tail side up. And now I stop for a minute, and I make a joke, you know. I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to do it by magic. This distracts them from where the coin actually went. I now turn my card, which exposes my coin, my duplicate coin. keeping the other one underneath, and I push this forward a little bit so that there's the extra coin. I didn't make the X the same way, but I'm sorry. When it gets late, I get like stick. The jokes are even worse now. Okay, so the first thing is the retention pass. Same thing that we've done, retention pass. Okay, now as I go like this, well, you know, maybe I should do one more trick after this if you guys are still awake. I'll do one more thing just to close it up, and we'll explain it really fast because I just thought of it. Okay, one of the things, as I do this, I turn this coin over in my hand. Okay, make it vanish, take this card, and I put it right on top of that. I show my mark, and then as I show their mark, I put them down at the same time. So the noise discrepancy is fine. Okay, act that they're not impressed. I say thank you. I pause. I say I'm going to do it again. Okay, I do the ROPS move. Make the coin vanish. Lift the card up. Show my mark. Now I'm going to do a one-hand switch. Now it's very similar to the one-hand switch that Jeff Latta put out a long time ago, but the coin went into a different position, and it was a little more difficult, and it didn't look as good, so I just changed it. And this is why I used the paper. I'm going to show you close up here. Put my fingers on the coin, my thumb on the back, my first finger on it, and I pick it up and I put it right on the other coin. And I turn my hand over, and now I drop my coin onto the table, and that's done. Now, you got to be careful because you don't want a lot of noise here, but let's see. So this is here, this is here. I just take this and I come over, drop. And that's pushing with my finger. I then like turn it over, so now the wax paper is on here, and I put the card right on that, and I stop and I pause again. Okay? So they see their mark. Now, this is kind of a cool move. I scoop this up here. I pretend to take it off my card, but what I do is I just turn my hand over, and I take this one, just like this. And I say, I'm going to do this one more time for you. Again, time it so that both coins hit the table at the same time. I now do a spider vanish. Now, there are a lot of ways to do the spider vanish. For the guys that don't really do a lot of classic palming, you can just put this into thumb palm, put it right into thumb palm, and just toss, just like this. Toss. And it's in thumb palm. If you're really good, you can put it into classic palm. And thumb palm is a lot easier. The bottom line is that the right hand looks empty. The left hand is closed. So when they see this, they look to the other hand. And then you go, take a look. So now you take the first coin, you kind of toss it there, open the other hand. They've seen both hands empty. I usually don't keep this finger cramped against that. I put that down like this, and I pick the card up, or they pick the card up. They take the sticker over. They see both sides. You take the stickers off. You put it on the business card, and you give it to them. It's a really nice way of giving out your business card, and it's really a great effect. It's a magic way of giving out your card, and it's very, very entertaining. Are there any questions? Was that guy out there happy? All right. Now,
but Michael, they are screaming for one more.
They are.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing? Because I was screaming for one more. Actually, I was screaming, please, no more. But I actually had to think of this, so this is what I'm going to do. All righty. This is, I mentioned before, well, I'm just going to do it. And you're going to see, this kind of ties everything up. There are coins all around us. We just have to find them. For example, if I reach over here, I get a solid silver coin. If I reach over here, I get a second solid silver coin. If I reach right in front of me, I get a third solid silver coin. 3 silver coins. And you guys come in a little bit because I'm going to take one of these coins and give it a little wave, and that first coin changes and becomes copper. That's 1 copper and 2 silver, or was that, I don't know, 2 copper and 1 silver. I myself get confused. Why don't we just go for it? What do you say? Go like that, and we get 3 copper coins. That's right, 3 copper coins, which used to be silver. Now, if I take the first coin, I give it a little squeeze, that first coin melts away. Ooh. If I take the second silver coin and give it a little squeeze, that one goes bye-bye. If I take the third coin, a little wave like this, no, it doesn't go yet, not until I blow, in which case they all go just like that. But, you know, they never go too far because I always keep one over here by my elbow. And I always keep another one over here by my elbow. And sometimes I just keep the third one in the air, right over there. Thank you. So this one ties it all together because it uses all the moves that we kind of did throughout the routine. So using 6 coins, 3 old copper, 3 old silver, they're worn coins so they don't make noise, and I put them into nowhere palm with the silver coins down. Okay? So I can come out and show my hand's pretty much empty. Okay? Now, as I reach for the first coin out of the air, I push them with my thumb to finger palm, and I just produce the first one right off the stack, and I hold it here. I do the fingertip shuttle pass. So now I have one over here, and the rest of the crowd to my right. I produce the second coin, show the two, and then I produce the third coin just by pushing the bottom silver coin from the stack with my finger. So I have 3 silver coins. Now we use the slide move. Remember that from way back when we started the lecture, and before everybody got sleepy? Take the first one, and I wave, and there's the first copper coin. Slide move. Take the silver coin goes behind, the copper coin goes in front. Okay? Take the second one, slide it behind the others, push that one out again. That's the second copper coin. Take the third one, little move like that, and there's the third copper coin. So you have 3 copper coins. I put them in a stack with the silver coins in finger palm, put them in a stack like spellbound position. Say 3 silver coins that used to be copper. I never let go of these, but I turn my hands over, let the 3 silver coins go into my hand, put these into finger palm as I open this hand and show the 3 silver coins. Now this is a really nice vanish. You could actually, if you remember back to the copper, silver, brass routine, you can actually use this vanish for the 3 copper, silver, and brass coins for each one of those. But this is nice here. I take the first one. I pretend to take it with my hand under the cover of my hand. I just kind of grab it with the second finger and bring it back into my hand. It's, again, very much like Al Schneider's snapback. Grab it, and I just put it right on the other coins. So take the first coin. I then turn these over, give a little wave, and it vanishes. Do the same thing with the second coin. Okay, it's right over there. The third coin I actually place in my hand. I hold them like that Mrpl1 holding position, give a little wave just to extend my fingers for a minute. It doesn't go anywhere. I do the ROPS move. Okay, put it right on the stack, move, put these coins into nowhere palm, show my hands totally empty. Now, I personally don't like ending with coins being vanished. If I produce something, I like to stay produced. So you produce the first coin from your elbow, from the air, fingertip shuttle pass, second coin from the other elbow. If you want, you can put your hand in your pocket, drop the copper coins, and produce the third silver coin, and now your hands are totally clean. Or you can just produce from the air, then put them all in your hands and go away. Either way, you've done a really nice production, transposition, and vanish. And it kind of ties it all together. So are there any questions on that? Thank you. Thank you. So I'd like to close with something actually serious. Kind of unusual for me, but you know, as long as you don't tip your method, there's never a right way or a wrong way to do your magic. But there's always a better way. And it's going on that journey to find the better way is how you're going to become a better magician. So I want to thank you guys for coming on that little journey with me tonight. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Fantastic. Even going for Michael Rubenstein.
And I will be going.
Michael, come on over here. We will come on over here. We'll sit and talk magic for a few minutes.
All right.
And I'll shake your hand now because you told me not
That's
to
right.
shake your hand when I brought you out because you were holding out on it.
I was holding out 4 coins. Not easy to shake somebody's hand with 4 coins palmed.
Have you, because there's always a way to make your magic better. Have you practiced shaking hands with coins hidden in your hand?
I'm working on it.
Are you? Okay. Well,
Usually I just shake my booty. It doesn't work,
that'll
but
wrap up our interview segment here.
on that note.
Okay, so let's start off with what a lot of people are asking about is practice. What's the best way to practice? I have people asking about what size coins to practice with.
So there's a trend in magic. Everybody's using dollars. Everybody's getting Morgans. Everybody's like in love with that. And I think that started with the 3-fly phenomenon. The bottom line is use coins that are comfortable in your hands. You know, if you're young, it's sometimes hard to manipulate with big coins, so use quarters. If you get a little older, I find I have small hands. Put your hand up. My hands are very small compared to yours. I mean, I can't palm a basketball, you know. So I use half dollars because it's very comfortable for me. The Retrofly is the only one that I use the silver dollars in because I don't really have to do a lot of manipulation. It's mostly finger palm, and I can get away with that. But most of the time, I feel comfortable with half-dollar size coins. If I'm doing the Tallahassee jumping coins, I could even borrow 3 quarters and do the trick. Mm-hmm. You don't need worn coins. You could just use anybody else's coins too. You could do the business card trick with quarters. I mean, half dollars are more visible. Dollars are more visible, so if you have the ability to do that, you know, you have better visibility. But are you performing for 200 people on stage, or are you performing for like few people at a table? You don't really need to have giant coins. So
it seems like you should probably practice if you're doing stuff for a bigger group, yes, practice with the bigger coins. But like you said, if you're sitting at a table and somebody brings out 3 coins and says to do something, I feel like there's definitely a difference as far as the way you palm coins.
Sure.
If
you're using smaller coins, your hands are going to be a little more cramped when you're palming, unless you're using finger palm, because you can probably still extend your fingers and look pretty good. But most of the time, classic palm, things like that, your hands are going to be a little more cramped. I find that half dollars are more comfortable for me, and my hands look pretty natural, and that's why I use them.
And we talked earlier on the way up here. I brought up the Golden Touch. You were talking about hands getting sweaty under lights. Golden Touch, which I know a lot of magicians use to keep their hands tacky. Doing what you do for a living, you have the inside scoop on something that you say is even better.
So here's my thing. I didn't do it tonight, but when you're working under hot lights or in the summer, your hands are going to get really sweaty and tacky, and that makes it hard to manipulate coins, which is why one of the coins dropped during the lecture, just part of the perils of doing things in a studio. However, if your hands are getting tacky, what I used to do is I used to carry a washcloth that was half wet, half dry. So I would wipe my hands with the washcloth, and then I would dry it with the washcloth, and my hands would lose the tackiness. Didn't do it here tonight, but that's one way to do it. If your hands are not tacky and they're smooth, that leads to another problem. That leads to the problem of maybe more difficulty palming coins. So what I use, I've never revealed this before, so this is a first for you guys. I use a veterinary product. I do. It's something called Humilac. It's a common product. Most veterinarians have it. It's a combination of glycerin and water that you could use for your dog's fur. It makes the coat shiny, helps to remove dry skin. It's basically like a hand lotion that you're using, but it's not gummy, it's not creamy, it's just liquid. So I spray it a little bit on my hands, rub it together, and I get a really nice tackiness. Not too much, not too little, just enough, and that's what I always use. And plus, a huge bottle like this costs, I don't know, anywhere from $10 to $20, depending on your veterinarian. So, get yourself a dog, bring it to the vet, and maybe he'll sell that to you.
Do you have to have a pet, or is it something you can just walk in and say, hey, I need a bottle of this?
Well, some veterinarians won't see you unless you're a client. So,
okay.
But bring in your guinea pig. I don't care. Just tell him he's got dry skin. Give me something for it, and that's usually what they pull off the shelf. There are other products, I'm sure, but that's the one that I use, and it's really been a godsend for me.
Okay. You don't use a lot of gimmicks. You didn't use a lot of gimmicks tonight. You used a shell, I think, at one point.
Correct.
Shell. Are you totally against gimmicks? Is that just a personal choice of yours to stay away from them?
That's a very good question. I consider myself a purist. I never really used gimmicks because, first of all, when I was younger, they were expensive. And I used to do most of my magic when I started out. I was using clad coins, and maybe I got a Johnson coin here and there. But, gimmick coins have their own set of limitations. First of all, some of them are very limited by their use, and you have to know how to handle them. And I felt if I can do the same thing with regular coins that I can with gimmick coins, then why use the gimmick coins? Now, in the case of the trick where I used the shell, I did that trick with sleight of hand. It was very difficult. I don't know that I could do the trick as well now after all these years, but the gimmick made it so much better, and it's easy to handle that gimmick. So it was no problem for me. And then there are guys like Kainoa Harbottle, Mike Gallo, who use tricks with shells, and they can do miracles with them. I've always been, playing with the regular coins and developed my own techniques that allowed me to make it look, like magic without having to use the gimmick coins.
So if you're not using gimmicks, do you find it necessary or nice to be able to hand out the coins and let people examine? Do you even worry about that?
They made noise, and I really liked the idea of coins that didn't make noise. So I wanted to use, and people also, no matter even any of those coins, they don't recognize, but I wanted to use something that still seemed to be recognizable. So then I went to Liberty half dollars, and that looks like foreign coins for a lot of people. They're beautiful coins, but we're used to seeing a head on one side and an eagle on the other. So I went, this is just personally my philosophy. So I went to Franklin's, which were great. They weren't as worn, but they were still very interesting. They weren't Kennedy's. They were a little more interesting. And then finally, I started to really use Barber half dollars because of the worn smooth coins. And I use a lot of, as you know from my magic here, a lot of tricks with the old copper English pennies, and they kind of with the same age. And they're beautiful coins, and I hand them out oftentimes in the beginning so that people can see them and see how beautiful they are, and I think people appreciate that. So handing out coins, I think, is an option for you with regular coins. Obviously, with gimmick coins, you can't do that unless you're good enough. And if you really use them well, you should be able to switch them in and out. So you can start with regular coins, switch them out, and then switch them back at the end.
Okay. So I'm still going back to a lot of these questions.
I'm glad people ask questions.
Oh, yeah, they loved it. It's a question of mine.
Okay.
You have a lot of groaners. A lot. Do you use that for misdirection?
No, I just use it because I'm a nut.
And I recently became friends on Facebook. Best friends, probably.
That's right.
Probably not. You didn't jump on
we,
that.
we are best friends. I would take you home with me, but the airline only allows 2 bags. One's my carry-on, one's my wife. No.
Good, you got one for everything.
My wife's an angel. You know, she sticks with me through thick and thin, as she does. And because I said that, I won't have to sleep on the couch when I get home.
You could, during these groaners, you could walk an elephant in the room and nobody would even notice. Because this, that's a laugh. But this is, oh, that was painful to hear. You see what I'm saying? You got all kinds of...
It's just my personality. I don't know. I don't know. It just comes out. My wife says I have no filter.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get into trouble, but, you know, I do what I do.
That's good. Let's go back to... I got a funny... somebody asked me something kind of funny. It was early on, because I introduced you as Dr. Michael Rubenstein. And before you came clear that you were a vet, somebody asked if you performed for your patients. They didn't ask the question again.
Well, the serious answer is that a lot of times people come in the room with the kids, and the kids are really scared. You know, what is he doing to my dog? And they're going to be upset, and they're going to cry. You give the dog a shot, and they're very upset. So, yeah, I do perform. I do, like the trick that I had with the 2 coins with the wish, I do that. Or the trick I did at the end where I produced the 3 coins, changed them, I do that. Or I do a spellbound routine. Sometimes even just a simple vanish, depending on how much time you have. But, you know, a lot of kids make their parents bring the dogs back to the vet because they want to see the magician. And they feel so much better, so it's a nice thing that I can do that.
So how often do you perform? Because you told us you're at the office quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, my day starts at 6:30. I get home at 9 in the evening, and I pretty much a long time ago, I really stopped performing professionally for, you know, groups of people. So I'd really just perform for magicians in my free time, go to conventions and stuff. But I mean, when I perform for people, I'm performing for my friends or my relatives because they love it, and that comes to the sitting down at the table part. You know, that's really I have a whole set for sitting down at the table that people should, you know, take advantage of that. And lapping is a big part of sitting at the table. But it's just so much fun to be with your friends and relatives and do stuff like that. You know, when I was younger, I did street magic. I did street magic on 5th Avenue, New York City, and by the Leaning Tower, which really is a piece of workmanship, by the way. I actually tried to get an apartment on the 5th floor, but they put a lien on it. So,
But never ending.
Never stops.
Look at these. Harry's doing this. Okay, let's talk about something that I do a lot of. I'm one of the Y men. I do a lot of card magic. I love coin magic. Well, here's my problem, and maybe it's an excuse, but look at those windows. If I look through there, not only can I see you, I can see your soul. That's how big that window is.
There's a good cleaner that will clean those windows up.
Need something.
Yeah, you know, you don't really have to worry about windows a lot of times. First of all, if you do a good classic palm, it doesn't matter that you could see through that. And, you know, you just have to find the right position so that they can't see it.
Okay. And
there's no magic answer. You got to really look on your own hand and see what's going to work best for you.
Work with it. Same with angles. A lot of people also asking about angles. I know I asked earlier about angles for.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing, and you got to know what the audience is. You know, there are several ways to do every single trick. And you got to know when you're performing what your angles are. I'm not going to do a retention pass if I've got somebody on my left. You know, I'll use Al Schneider's classic vanish, which is a wonderful vanish. Look it up in Al Schneider on coins. It's covered. You can be surrounded. You put the coin in classic palm. You pretend to take it with your fingers. You dump it into your hand. It's totally covered, and it's a wonderful vanish. So if I've got a lot of people around me, I'm going to do that instead of a retention pass. It's okay. There's no reason that you have to like make your magic look so visual as long as you're making it look good.
I'm going to ask you a question that I'm sure a lot of magicians get asked this from lay people. Do you ever get fooled? I introduced you as the walking encyclopedia. Do you get fooled by coin magic nowadays with some of the newer stuff?
That's a good question. I will answer you that for other types of magic, I feel like a total layman. I used to do everything when I was younger, cards, coins, ropes, and then I stopped for a while because, raising a family and working long hours as a veterinarian, it wasn't easy to do everything. And then when I started getting back into it, I realized that my hands just didn't work the right way. And it took a long time to get back the fluidity that I had when I was in my 20s as a coin magician, so I stopped doing the other things. But as a result, I get fooled very easily. I feel I'm a layman when it comes to like card magic. I do get fooled by good coin magic, and I prefer, to me, it doesn't matter whether I'm fooled or not. I like to, if I enjoy it, that's the important thing. So even if I sense that there's a way of how something is done, it doesn't matter to me as long as it's done well and it's enjoyable.
It's entertaining.
Exactly.
So then let's talk about, we'll wrap up with this. Tell me how proud you are of the New York Coin Magic Seminar.
That was really like my baby. When back in 2003, they had the Las Vegas Coin Symposium. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was organized by Reed McClintock and Curtis Cam, and Danny Archer sponsored it, and they had like all these great coin magicians go over there, and it was a wonderful event. It was small, there were like 100 people, I think, but some great magicians. And afterwards, Jeff Latta, David Roth, and myself were there, and we said, why can't we do something like this in New York? So we came up with it. We did it in Manhattan, the first one. We had Mike Gallo as our guest. Mike Gallo used to be in New York during the 80s. He worked at Tannen's Magic Store, and so he was kind of part of the crowd anyway, and we felt it was a New York flavor. And afterwards, it just worked out so well that he became part of the group. And then afterwards, unfortunately, Jeff Latta passed away, and we just started to work at Mark DeSouza's Magic Theater in his house. He was generous enough to donate the theater, and we never really intended for it to get as far as it did, but we put on the seminar. It went really well. We put on a second seminar. We had Kainoa Harbottle as the follow-up guest. He's great with coins. And then it just kept going every year. We kept doing it, and we decided after the first set of DVDs to keep putting them out with different genres of coin magic. And after we went over the ones that we want to, copper, silver, coins across, productions, vanishes, and penetrations, we came up with just mixed ones that kind of hit on a certain theme. We just put out a lot. I mean, the 17-disc, 16-volume DVD set, I think, is the most comprehensive set ever on coin magic. Bill Wells called it the Video Bobo of the 21st century. It's got over 34 hours, 225 routines on all aspects of coin magic. Some of the stuff that I did here tonight is on there, but it's also, you got Mike Gallo, you got David Roth, you got Jeff Latta, you got Kainoa Harbottle, you got Giacomo Bertini from Italy, you got Jean Emmanuel Frances, you got Bob Fitch, Eric DeCamps, you got Eric Jones, Bill Citino, Mark DeSouza, and I'm sure Vic Trabucco, a bunch of guys doing some great coin magic. And I just think it's something that every single person interested in coins should have, because there's so much there for reference. Even on the one on Coins Across, it's not just Coins Across. It's theory, it's moves, it's applications. You can learn so much just from watching, just that one DVD. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, I undoubtedly I understand why. Do we have any questions here? I don't want to wrap things up. If you guys have questions, anything? That means you were very, very thorough.
Well, I appreciate that.
And I've got nothing else here, so I say we need to wrap up with at least one or two more groaners. Anything you got?
Hear about the shark that went into the bar and said, "I'm looking for my chum"? Let's just leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that. One more time, round of applause for Michael Mrpl1.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, thank you for supporting Live Magic. We'll see you next time.